already said before, I have blocked Dana Dane. So anything that I ever hear about her is from other people stitching. So I saw this stitch of people stitching with this man. Apparently, a lot of women think that he's attractive on this app. I really feel like black women's standards are in the deepest, darkest pits of hell because y'all think this man is like really sexy. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he ugly or anything, but he not somebody I would have been like when I was single, busting it down, trying to talk to. Like, I just don't think he cute in the face at all. So but women going crazy, and it's like black women go crazy anytime they see a man doing anything. And I don't even like, I just don't get it. I don't find this man, not that my opinion is the end all be all or anything, but I don't see what black women see. I just think black women are desperate. So anytime there's a man that shows any type of masculinity, here they go. And I'm not trying to talk about people that's been in the military, but any man, and I have talked to and dated a couple men in the military for very short time periods. I feel like any man that is in the military, they are always very quick to anger. You know what I'm saying? Very quick to anger, very aggressive, always trying to tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I don't know. I don't understand the appeal. But anyway, you know, as much trash as Dana Dane talk about this and that and about who she is, to see her on a live with a man angling for him to tell her that he's attracted to her, that's embarrassing. And for him to really see like he's not interested was even more embarrassing, in my opinion. She talk about some, oh, you told me I'm cool. I'm cool. And he's sitting there telling her basically, you not having sex. So I'm not interested in you. If a man is not interested in a woman because she's not having sex, that just means that the only thing that he was there for is to do what? Oh, have sex. That's the reason why if you're not having it, he not trying to be around. He not trying to talk to you. But that was so embarrassing to see her do that. Like, yes, please go look up this lady name right now. Like, look up Dana Dane and like Beanard. I think that's his name, this little name on TikTok. Just do me a favor. Look at the video clip and then come back to me. Just look at the video clip real quick and tell me that that's not what you see too. That way y'all don't have to just take my opinion and say I'm tweaking. Please take a look, T. Please take a look first and then come right back. It'll only take you about 30 seconds or less to see the clip. And let me know what y'all see. Anyway, that's what I be trying to say. Like, when you have a woman that say that she's not a pick-me, but she's just trying to help women or get women to live in reality, but you see that same woman in male spaces all the time, in Cartel Samuel's live, in Black Guru live, and all of these other men live that you know don't like women, I can guarantee you she ain't trying to help you do nothing. She ain't trying to help you do nothing. What she is a pick-me, period. She just masks it as acting like she's trying to help you out or trying to give you some type of advice. Because if you really don't care about men and you really doing this, that, and the third, why are you always around him? You know, I really want to talk about this, y'all. I'm waiting for T to come back. And if y'all have seen this clip, y'all let me know. Y'all please get in the chat and let me know if y'all seen it. Please, please, please. Have y'all seen it? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Please let me know. Please let me know. So that's the topic today. Dana Dane, her interaction with Beanard. And I don't know how I can play it. Y'all, if y'all, Coach T and PG 1908, if y'all could just leave the chat real quick and just look up Coach, what did I say, Coach T? Coach T and PG 1908. If y'all can just go type in y'all search bar, Beanard and BNARD and Dana Dane, and y'all see all of those stitches, y'all just see the quick clip and tell me what y'all think. Please do that and come right back. Yes, I'm really waiting for the ladies to come back because I know Girl talk, you said you have a different take on her. Please come up, sis. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not care for her at all. Not that you have to have my thoughts. I just want you to know you don't have to have my thoughts or anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't care for her. I think anytime I see you in lies with men that call black women B words and 304s and you comfortable with them, but they have a real big issue with black women, it's because you are pushing the same agenda that they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust women like that. Hey, S. Whitney. So y'all saw it? Anybody that saw it and y'all want to tell me y'all opinion, please, 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 just send me your request and I'll add you up. But anyway, so I'm gonna wait for the people to come back to let me know if y'all saw it. So the topic today is pick-mes are women desperate for a man's attention and validation, and they don't care how they get it. And they will always expose that to be true. Number one, a pick-me will always compromise something of herself to have a man or to be in male spaces. You just have to pay attention. That goes into number two. Any woman that positions herself in male spaces craves male acceptance. Because at this day and age in 2025, I don't know too many male spaces that don't push some type of red pill rhetoric. Number three, pick-mes don't stand on anything. Anything. The only thing they stand on is the praise of men and getting male attention and making sure that everybody knows that they are a better woman than you. That's it. That's all it's rooted in, is making sure that they let everybody know that they not like the rest of these women. They not like you. They better than you. They're the best woman possible. That's what it's all rooted in. And making sure a man knows that they're the best choice. They're the best pick. But let me go down here to T Scorpio and then we'll go up there to Green. Go ahead, T.
Why did you send me that? Why did you send me to go searching for that video? Why? Why? Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? It's too early for this. Why? Why, Trey? Why? Why? It is no. I can't. I can't. If nothing grinds my gears more when I see a woman beg for a man. You done upset at me. You done upset at my baby. You done upset at my niece.
I'm
You are
sorry. I'm
upset at the
sorry.
cat. You upset at the cat. You upset at the fish. You upset at her little hamster in here. Everybody in here is upset. I have never seen like oh my god,
I'm so sorry.
embarrassing. And he was like, he barely was complimenting her, or he didn't compliment her at all. I
I
don't know what
know.
she thought. I don't know what she thought she was gonna do. I know what it is. A lot of these pick-mes do. They want to prove that they are the exception. They come up there when they see a man resisting other women. They believe that if I come up there, he's gonna act like that towards me. When I come up there, he may be mean to other women. He's not gonna be mean to me. He's gonna talk nice to me. I don't know what the hell was that about, but that was embarrassing. I'm sorry, honey, but that was embarrassing. Never, ever, ever. If you're gonna do something like that, do it in private. Don't do that for the world to see hopping up on his live like he was gonna say, oh, I see you. Oh, look how pretty you are. Oh, ooh, ooh, ah. No. First of all, he just looked like the broke version of Stevie J. That's number one. I mean, everybody have their type. Everyone has their preference. I know I have my preference. I have my own type. But baby, he ain't fine enough to go up online in front of everybody and get rejected. Nah. She was better off admiring from a distance. She was better off just looking and go, oh, he cute. I'll talk to him on a deep end someplace else off TikTok. Or if she wanna be that stupid. I never recommend no woman get with no man on TikTok. If he has a content or if he don't have a content, don't get with no man on TikTok. Please
Girl,
don't.
I'm
Please
gonna
don't.
tell you what, I was actually shocked by that because she talked so much cash money stuff about herself, about her esteem, about men, about how she don't play like this and play like that to only be caught essentially begging for a Negro's validation. That, in my opinion, is not even cute. Like, I don't think he's attractive at all. But once again, I know everybody have different types and stuff like that. And some women like them medium ugly like this. I don't. But I'm just flabbergasted. Like, you really, I mean, that's just, I feel like she talked too much stuff about women and about all of this stuff to be caught out there like this. Completely humiliating.
She
And that's
must
why
be
I say,
ovulating. She must be
girl,
ovulating.
Yeah, she
girl,
must be
and
out
you
of
know what?
it.
When I
She
said this a
must
long time ago that when she was in them spaces with Cartel Samuels, and I seen her in there with I think Saul before, and Black Guru and a whole bunch of these other toxic men, and she was just in there just to she was in there. I remember she had a long live with Moses, a long live where they was kiki. I was like, a woman like that can be with men like that takes pleasure out of seeing other men seeing men disrespect women, but they don't, maybe they're not disrespecting her in the moment, so she can feel like she like way better. And that is all what she was
Yes,
doing.
that's exactly what I said. Was like when you see women that do that, go to the most egregious men on this app and talk to them, hee hee ha ha. She's trying to prove a point that I'm not like y'all other women. See, they like me, and she did make a video like that. Like, y'all got a problem with black men. Black men love me. So that is the point that she's proving. She's proving a point by trying to show us that these black men are not bad. Y'all are just the bad women. It was
I
it was goofy behavior. Hey, girl, talk. That's good. I listen. That girl talk, girl.
listen.
I
Oh
think
shoot,
she.
what's your thoughts?
So this is my thing about her. I said, I got a slightly different take. So I've heard her in a few different lives. Now, don't get it twisted. I definitely feel like there is some pick me there, but I think it's more related to like her father. I'm not going to do a deep dive on that, but just based on me hearing her talk about her relationship with her dad, I feel like that's where that male validation, that pick me, that where that comes from. But I feel like her thing is rooted in, like, she had an issue with women, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's more about women than it is men when you listen to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, the lives I've heard her in, I'll be honest, I haven't heard her in any lives where the men were being disrespectful. But the way she positioned herself oftentimes, like, what I clock in her is like misogyny. She got a problem with women. I think it's more about misogyny. She got a problem with women. I think it's more about like getting back at women than it is seeking male validation. If I'm being honest, that's just how I'm talking.
I mean,
I agree. I agree.
I think that she does have a problem with women. I will say that, but I also think that she prides herself in being in spaces with men. Like I said, anybody that can have a conversation with Moses for an extended period of time, knowing how much he disrespects women, knowing the toxic and borderline PDF files, and me, I'm being nice saying borderline PDF file-ish things that he said, there's something literally wrong with you as a woman, and I just can't trust it. But beyond that, whether we agree on the fact that she's a pick me or not, because I still do. But I think we can all agree that her behavior in this was absolutely embarrassing. And it doesn't go on brand with the things that come out her mouth. But as I said before, any woman that wants to be in spaces with men that disrespect women, I feel like that just automatically make you a pick me, because why would you want to be in a space with men that are disrespectful unless you think that you are either the exception, or you think that as long as you bend the knee to these Negroes, they won't treat you like that.
feel like it's a money grab too, though. Y'all don't feel that? Like, I just went and looked at the clips, and let's be honest here. Like, I don't know who this guy is, but anytime she talks about like her type, what she feel is attractive, she ain't talking about that guy. Like, not even close. You know what I'm saying? So for her to kind of be like aligning herself with this guy, like maybe I'm just overthinking it and maybe I'm giving her too much credit. That is a strong
You are. You
possibility.
are.
But
You
I
are.
just feel like it's a money grab. Like I feel so I don't know if y'all remember the foolishness that popped off with her. She lost a lot of followers last year. I don't know if y'all remember that. But like what the moves I've been
That's
seeing her
because she
make.
didn't. That's because she didn't said a lot of stuff. The lady that had the lady that was unalived in her house by the police officer. She was over there talking crazy about that and had to backtrack on it. What's that lady's name? Sonia Massey, I think it was. She was talking stuff about the black woman that had lost her life by that police officer.
So
So it's
that's
like
what that's
any follower she lost, she deserve it. Like
so that's what I
anytime you a
think.
black woman and you get online and you talk about a black woman that lost her life and you sit there with your chunky face in the camera talking trash, yeah,
That's
no,
what I
you
think it is,
trifling.
though. I feel like the moves she's been making recently, that's why it's giving. She's honestly, I feel like just trying to get engagement at this point. Like, I remember a time where, like, her posts were doing crazy numbers. She not on that no more. So at this part, it's just, it's coming across like she grabbing for straws. Like, whatever she can do.
Just a second. I'm sorry. I just wanted to respond to two people in the comments. This is Boo Bow and E Money. Y'all got a lot of stuff to say in the comments, which is fine. But I don't play y'all talking crazy in the comments. So I both sent y'all requests. Y'all can send me a request to get in the box. I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds to acknowledge it. Other than that, you about to get blocked. Because if you can talk that and you got all of this stuff to say and you can say it in the chat, you can say it in the box. But a lot of times y'all don't do it because y'all cowards. So I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds to both of y'all. And if y'all don't come up, then y'all can go ahead and y'all be getting blocked. And it's really just that simple. Because the crazy thing is that when somebody come in, one of y'all faves, y'all be in here glazing their meat and saying, oh, why are they being talked about? This lady talk about everybody all day, every day. So why is it that when somebody want to yap about her, now all of a sudden somebody got to be silent? She sit there and yaps every day. So why can't somebody else say something about something she got going on? Because I can guarantee you, if somebody video went viral with her somebody else doing something that was ignorant, she'd be right there commenting on it and talking about it. So once again, you got a couple chance. Let's see here, sister. Let me just block you. All right. Let me go ahead. Mama block sister that hate. You're blocked. Let me go ahead and go to lit MC. And I don't know why you followed me, but you about to get blocked. Let me go up here to the other two people. I gave y'all a chance. Y'all have not responded to who okay, let me block this other person too. Because somebody said I don't know anything about Breonna Taylor. Of course I do. Let me block this person right here. Boo. Y'all had enough chances. And I gave you a chance in E-Money. I'm gonna go ahead and block you as well. You did not respond to my request to come in the box. All right. So, and I'm just letting y'all know. Let's see here. I'm gonna block all of y'all unless y'all get in the box. But let me go up here to Coach T, and then I'll get back to you, girl talk. That way I can get girl Coach T to get a chance to speak to. Then I'll go back down there to you, girl talk, sis.
Hey Trigger, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Yeah, I mentioned that I think that she may be ovulating or something, but I'm not saying that to be facetious. Like I'm being serious. Like as women, we have to be careful about the decisions we make about intimacy and relationships and things at certain points in our cycles. Because even if you are a woman who's more aware of your cycle and you start all women know like you start getting real irritable when it's almost time for you to start actively menstruating. So those things are really important so you don't be walking around looking goofy and making decisions based off of your hormonal fluctuations and changes. Like you really be surprised how much better you feel after you've gone through certain parts of your cycle. You'd be like, oh dang, I was really wilding out. Like it wasn't that bad, you know? So we have to be aware of that. But I did go watch the clip, and I'll just say, like, it was he came across a little predatory when he was like, you keep poking the bear, you keep poking, and you're gonna get poked back. And I was just like, um, okay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. It just, the whole interaction was weird. I felt like I shouldn't have been privy to this conversation. It felt like this was a FaceTime conversation I should have been having in private, but it was on live. And this is why I kind of avoid having certain conversations with men in public spaces and public spheres, because men do this type of stuff on purpose. Like he's using her name and this interaction to give to boost his own reputation and to boost his own like desirability amongst women, more specifically like Black women who have her same kind of mindset of like, oh no, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do that, I'm better than these other girls, and all of that, and that type of attitude and air. And that's what kind of what I got, is that he was like using this opportunity as a stage and a platform to advertise like himself, and how he maneuvers and manipulates with women. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I can always see it. Like I can see what he's doing. And it's just sad that he's using a figure, right? A figure like this young lady to boost his credibility and his marketability to certain women, because this guy is not somebody who's going to be serious about any woman. He's made that clear. You know, he said, oh well, I'm not trying to deal with you if you not basically giving it up. And so it's like, oh, okay, I see what type of guy you are. Like, I know what your intentions are. I see what's going on here. You're not looking to date women or be in relationships with women in a real genuine way and cultivate those types of intimate connections. Like, you're after what you're after, and that's okay. But this is a part of we talk a lot about women, like, oh, choosing better, knowing the red flags, knowing the signs, this is that and the third. This is the fun guy. You know how men try to categorize women like, oh, she not wife material, oh, she's not this, she's not this, she's not that. This is just the fun guy. This is the guy who, if you're at a phase where you aren't being intimate, or even if you are, this is the guy who you are never intimate with. Like, this is the guy who you meet out for drinks. Like, if you're out and you want to pregame with somebody before your night out, or after you go on a date, you want to meet up with somebody and just like still continue your night, but you don't go home with him. You don't invite him to your home. This is the guy you always meet out in public places. Oh, you want to go grab this? Oh, you want to move this way or maneuver this way? Or this is the guy who was like gym dates. You know, like, this is not the guy who you will ever take seriously at all in any capacity. And that's the difference between being intimate with a man and not being intimate with a man. Like, don't share your body with him. Basically, this is the type of man you don't share your body with, even though that's all he's after. That's the type of man, like, you just don't share your body with him because of his attitude and his mentality. And I'm seeing a lot of women in the comments are just like, well, what did he do wrong? What did he do? This is why we as women keep getting played by men, because y'all can't see, y'all not listening, y'all not paying attention to his vernacular, his rhetoric, the words he's using, his attitude, his energy, the image. Y'all not paying enough attention. Y'all can't see what's going on. But that's okay. I mean, if y'all have to keep bumping your head and figuring it out, then that's just what y'all have to do. But y'all have to pay attention. Like, hello, like, y'all don't see what's going on.
You know what, Coach T, I definitely agree with you. I really do feel like every time I like get on TikTok and I see certain type of men that have followings, I really understand why it's so many Black women on TikTok hooting and hollering, talking about they got baby mama or they got cheated on, they got used and abused, they got that all of these bad things happen. And it's because Black women don't pay attention. I feel like I'm done saying I believe the collective at this point of black women don't pay attention to the signs, just like you said. You can have a man like him that's preoccupied at his big old age because he looks like at least he's in his late 30s, early 40s.
He said
Um,
he almost 30, so he might be like 29.
are you kidding me? This man is 20
Yeah.
in his 20. Oh my goodness. All
I
right.
think so. I think I
The
saw one clip where he was saying like,
what?
cause he's brothers with another.
27.
He's
Somebody
brothers.
said
Oh, he's 27.
27.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
What? Okay, I'm not even about to, never mind. I'm not even about to age shame nobody or whatever. I'm flabbergasted. I thought this man was at least about
Seeing
38, 39.
No, I don't know who this good
I'm
lady in the chat.
flabbergasted.
I don't know who this
Okay.
lady in the chat is. And I don't want to be offensive to any of the women. I'm just saying like y'all just pay attention. But these two people aren't necessarily important. It's the archetypes and the attitudes and ideologies that they represent, the things that they put on display. So you don't have to necessarily like know who they are. This is just a basic interaction between a man who you really shouldn't be interested in and
You know what? I just I just find it to be crazy because I know that you've seen these things, Coach T. I know it's not just me. Every day you see black women telling their stories about how they've been mistreated, how they've been dogged out, how they've been cheated on, how they've been left. And I really do once again believe that it's because black women refuse to pay attention to signs that are right in front of them. You have a man talk about some, yeah, y'all talk about y'all celibate, y'all talk about not having no check. I ain't trying to check for y'all. Okay, then you go and you pursue a man like that, and then you're surprised when the only thing that he wanted from you was what's in between your legs.
was
He already
exactly.
told you. He already
He
told you that
already
that's the
told
type of
you.
time he was on, that he wasn't interested in trying to get to know you as a human being and who you are. He was interested in whether you gonna let him get up in them guts or not. And for the life of me, that black women really put like men like this on a pedestal, because I went to his comments. His comments are going crazy. Black women are throwing the draws at him and everything else. And it's just
Hmm.
like, you wonder why y'all constantly get played with. And it's just the simple the black woman in the chat that's in the chat talk about some, I don't see the problem. Of course you don't see the problem, because I can guarantee you probably got a body count of 5,000 of men that have never treated you good in your life. And it's not because you're not deserving of that. It's because you refuse to use your brain and your critical thinking and realize what the things that men are saying, they actually mean it. But sometimes women want to make twist it and say, "Oh no, that's not what he meant." That's exactly what the heck he
That's it.
meant.
He said
Restate
he
what he
said
meant.
exactly what he meant. And I don't. I'm from New York, so we have certain language we use, but he's what we call a fronter. Like he's one of those dudes who likes to kind of front on you. Oh, you not this, or you not that. It's kind of like that negging, but it's kind of like they trying to light pressure you into doing what they want you to do. So like he's a fronter. So like he fronts on you. He tries to put you up against a list of things of like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing, to try to get to see if you're going to do what he wants you to do, or if you're gonna front on him. He fronting on you. Like it's a game. Like it's basically a game. And Trigger, exactly, it's just too many of us black women, like we just not paying attention. Like you're not seeing the sign. Like he's showing you everything, all what his intentions are up front. And for me, it's the crudeness and it's the lack of care that he presents the message with. Oh, you not busting it open, then I'm not trying to mess with you. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, oh, like, oh,
Can I
like that,
interject a little
like
bit?
like, oh, like just straight like that. Give me one more minute, bless. But like, oh, like that, just that's just how we going. That's how you gonna talk about it. Oh, okay. If you don't value the interaction or me sharing my body with you, why would I want to share my body with you? Like it just don't, it's just not clicking. And I just need women to like slow down, stop, put the brakes on, put the brakes on,
Right.
relax.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, Coach T. Anybody in the chat that y'all are talking about saying like, oh, do y'all have a job? Like you act like people can. I'm not about to play with y'all. If somebody needs a job, then why are you in here chatting? Why are you not somewhere, doing whatever it is that you need to do? Like, please don't do that. People talking about it's early in the morning. Okay, what's early in the morning and your black behind is still
Your
up here
brain should be
in the
working. It's
chat?
early, but this is the time we need to have these conversations. That's the problem. Y'all don't know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate.
Yeah.
So this is the time of day like we should be talking and having conversations. Like a man should be hitting up your phone, not after 7 o'clock, not after 8 o'clock, not at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Like y'all need to learn how to conduct yourselves and y'all need to have a certain level of decorum and self-respect.
All
That's
right, all
it.
right. All right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T. Let me go up here to Blessed and then Natty. I'll go ahead and start your timers, you guys. Go ahead, Blessed.
Hey,
Hey, how
I
you
agree
doing?
with a lot of things that were said, but you guys forget that a lot of these women are male centered, meaning they'll say, do anything for male approval, even if it means that it makes the woman as a whole look bad, because male centered women are not even loyal to other women. Male centered women make excuses for men degrading women that are celibate, men degrading women that don't want to have intimacy with them on the first date or because they paid for a meal. Male centered women degrade educated women, or women that don't necessarily need a man, or their whole world doesn't revolve around men. It might revolve around hobbies, work, traveling, and a male just may be an option. Um, the problem is that women like this entertain these men, and then these men get on these lives and use these women as bait, and these women go for it. They say, hey, I'm right here, I'm only been with two guys, or I'm celibate and I'm gonna take care of my man and I'm gonna pay all his bills. And these type of men don't even value traditional marriage. They don't value femininity of a woman. They don't value um the elements that a woman has as a whole, because they don't value themselves. So when you have a woman that all her approval has to come from a man, and I'm sure that her approval has to come from her father, and if she didn't get the approval from her father, she probably would have been, you know, an extreme person that is male centered, because she is a beautiful young lady. She does say a lot of things that I do agree with, but then there's a lot of things that I realize, like, hey, you have to love yourself. You have to value yourself. You are worth more than just being an object or a people pleaser. And a lot of these women are people pleasers. They're like, hey, I will do whatever to please this other party so that I can get recognition. It's because they don't love themselves. They don't have hobbies. They don't have goals. They don't have ambitions. They don't have um self-worth as an individual. Because when you don't love yourself as an individual of who you are, then you need approval from a man or a mom or a dad, different things. So I really wouldn't expect anything less. And the comments that are full of, the Pickmeshas that was in her comments, the problem is a lot of them, their whole goal is to have a man. And when you have people that's their only goal in life, you can't expect an intelligent conversation. It's just going to be more embarrassing and frustrating.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Blessed. All right, let me go up here to Manietta. Go ahead, Manietta. You there, Manietta? Or Maniette, excuse me.
Okay, sorry, I
Maniette.
had to put my mic on. I was cutting my mic on real quick. Well, I have to agree with everything I've heard thus far. I will say that I do feel like, unfortunately, when it comes to pick me mentality women, you can't be friends with them if you do have a sense of self-worth, or if you're an independent woman. Women with that kind of mentality, sometimes they can come across, I've seen it so many times, like where it's like their whole lives revolve around a man. Like how she was just stating, it has to be the approval of the father, or it has to be the approval of a significant other that they have. They can have everything else going for them. They can have a great career. They can own their own home even. They can have their own car. But if they don't have a man, if they don't have the ring, for some reason, they don't feel like they're good enough. They can't take advice from women. They don't fare well in feminine friendships. For some reason, only advice that holds any weight in their lives is if it comes from a male counterpart. I honestly feel like even in this past election, a lot of the disparities that we saw was because of a lot of pick-me women voting in retrospect to the male gaze and the benefit of the male. Unfortunately, there's a lot of women that do not see themselves as individuals. They don't hold any value within themselves. Yes, their self-esteem is low, but I think in retrospect, it's kind of almost like their self-esteem in their mind isn't low. They feel like they do respect themselves, and they feel like their respect comes from the fact that they are able to show reverence to a man. And unfortunately, a lot of times they view submission to a male in terms of them completely giving away any source of individualism whatsoever. Like they don't have a thought process of their own. It's like they don't make any decisions that would be beneficial to themselves, their fellow female friends, or even their children if they have them. It's all a matter of being pretty much like sacrificial lambs for the sake of a man. Currently, right now, it's like right now, I have my daughter and I have a son. And I am in a position right now, like not only am I in the dating world, but actually, let me take that lie back because I've kind of like pulled away from dating because it has been a little bit draining because it's like
I'll give
I've
you one
seen.
more minute.
Oh, thank you. I've seen so many women out here that are in this pick me mentality. And honestly, I did not know it was as bad as it is. And I feel like it has actually made the environment for dating and companionship between the genders harder for women who actually do operate off of self-worth, who actually do have their own mental capacity to make decisions for themselves, even thinking of making decisions where it would include a partner. They don't lose themselves within a relationship. But in situations like that, it's kind of hard when you have other women out here who are completely ready to dissolve themselves for the sake of approval of men. I honestly don't know even when this whole pick me movement came into place.
Uh,
I honestly don't, but it has been taking over in a wave, and it is a little bit disheartening. It's a
all
little
right.
bit scary.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Monette. Let me say, I just want y'all to know, like a lot of y'all in the comments, like honestly, y'all losing a plot. Like for real, like I see this man in here that came in here named Big Brother Thunder that said I just came in and are all the women on the panel single? Well, let me say this, I'm not single, but even if I was, I'm married, but even if I wasn't, what would be the issue with that? Is it if you're single, you can't express anything? And what exactly does not being single mean? It's not as if any woman on the planet Earth could get a man. It's not like it's difficult to get y'all. It's not like it's difficult for a woman to not be single. And it's crazy because a lot of y'all that say these things, I know for a fact that y'all don't have a wife. Y'all don't have a girlfriend. Y'all don't have a fiance. Y'all don't have a woman at all. So my thing is, why in the world do y'all always weaponize a relationship against a woman, but not y'all when y'all go at home by yourself every night ejaculating into a napkin? That's my thing. So y'all need to really, really get a grip and get it together and stop trying to make it like somebody can't have an opinion on something if they didn't have a man, if they didn't have somebody in their life, because it's not like it's difficult to get men. That's what now it's difficult to get a good man. I'll say that much, but it's not difficult to get a man in general. So if you really needed to have somebody for that validation, it's nothing to get one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get real, like honestly. And half the time y'all come up here and y'all make these comments, and I look at y'all profiles, and I just know that y'all are not getting women. Y'all are not, women are not attracted to y'all. And that's why y'all say the things that y'all say. But what I was talking about this whole thing, because there's a lot of people in the comments talking about like Dana Dane, this, Dana Dane, that. She's taking, I think Dana Dane's a pick me. I don't respect their content, but I have her blocked. I don't even engage with her content. But this really isn't even about her per se. It's more about the ideology of she is just a representative. Excuse me, let me mute this person. It's a representative of what a lot of women do. like looking at a man and the man is telling you right there, you're seeing in 4K view what type of man he is and what type of time he's on, but yet you ignore what you see in front of your face. And then when you get the result that comes with ignoring that behavior, now you want to come online and cry. And I'm not saying that this is what she's doing. I'm just saying that her talking to a man that's clearly only not he's clearly that's in a position of dehumanization and only because it's like, hey, you're not giving up the box. So basically, why would I talk to you? It's like, why would you even want to talk to a man that's looking at you like that? If you get what I'm saying. The other guy that was up here, he left. I don't know why, but let me.
Real quick, a little commercial break. As a moderator, I got you, Trig. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen and liking the live. We got over 130 people in here, so we can definitely get my girl up to 15K. So go ahead, make sure y'all tapping the screen. Make sure y'all are gifting our host and being respectful to the panelists and to what we have going on here. The host has ultimate authority here. Just so y'all are aware, this is a woman-centered space, but more specifically a Black woman-centered space. So everything is going to be viewed through that lens. So when the host is talking or the host asks you to mute, please mute yourself. When the host asks you to come up and you can't come up, then just leave. We don't want like this is not the space to be doing all of that extra stuff. But go ahead and y'all keep on tapping the screen. I see we at 13.2K likes. Keep it going. Let's keep this conversation going. And as always, thank you, Trigger, for having this space.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach T. Like I said, the only reason why I wanted to even have this conversation is because I was just taken aback at a woman that says that she has a lot of values and is, celibate and all that, which I respect, which I recommend women do while they are like single and dating and all of that. I just was flabbergasted that she couldn't see the character of man that she was talking about. And then when I went on this man's page, because I didn't know who he was before this, I saw a Black woman all in his comments throwing him the draws when he's already represented that he's only interested in intercourse from women. So exactly why would you do that? You're not going to change this man's mind. But anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead, CJ. I'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit on the lady that's on the photo. I haven't been following her for too long, but when I was reading through her comments, like on her page and stuff, she was talking about how she kind of had like two exes. How first, like one of them, for example, was he had a great personality. He had a great character trait, but he wasn't all in there like physically. And then how she had another ex he was very attractive, but had a so-so personality and character trait. So she's always talking about there aren't any good men, there aren't this, there aren't that. And then when I look at her comments, I'm just like, what exactly do you want? Like, and then I saw the video with this guy that's in the photo, and I'm like, it kind of threw me off because it kind of seems like she kind of contradicts herself in a sense, and I'm just not understanding. It's like, what do you want in a man? You had two different versions of a man. You didn't like them because either they're not physically there, they're not physically attractive, or his personality is not the very best. But then you get on this guy's live, and it's like what you talk about a lot doesn't reflect that. So it didn't really make sense to me. It's like, what exactly does a woman want in a man? Like, what can we do? A woman want in a man? Like, what can we do to hold it down? That's what I be trying to figure out. Of course, every woman is different, but it doesn't make sense to me. That's all.
All right, okay. I'm gonna go move forward to Flip. Go ahead, sir. Let me set your timer up. Go ahead.
I really don't need that long. But I was just honestly confused on why y'all mad at the pick-mes. Like, what's the problem? Let the people do what they want to do. If they want to get chose up, and the way they want to get chose up, what's the problem? Especially if y'all married and got men.
Well,
They didn't take all the men.
I don't understand why when y'all say things like that, it doesn't make any sense. Number one, nobody's mad at her. That's number one. Why would anybody be mad at her for decisions that she's making? And you've been in this live for a minute. I see you in the chat. I know you heard what we said. So please don't play stupid. All right. You heard what we said and why we said what we said. And I said already, women choosing men that automatically you already know they're interested in one thing. Why even entertain or talk to those type of men at all if you have self-esteem and respect for yourself? All right.
Some women
Her
just want
taking
that
all the
though, right?
men, what does that got to do with? I don't even understand what you're saying.
But why use that type of language? Okay, this is what I'm talking about when I say listen to what men say, understand the rhetoric, the vernacular, and addiction. Why use that framing of choose up? Are you aware that that is a terminology between
Pimps,
workers and
pimps.
their P's? Like, why choose
What?
up? Why
Like
that? Why that
I did,
phrasing? Why that phrasing? Why
Coach
that
D.
type of
If
word?
you if you look at his profile, like that'll tell you all that you need to know about his mentality already. But I
Are you
like
talking about
what?
me?
Yes, you.
What's
Yes,
wrong with my profile?
you, sir. Have you ever been like? Tell me when's the last time you was locked up? Honestly,
He ain't
I
even know
haven't
enough
been.
to not come
That's
like
on
probably
to
what?
a live
What
without
felony do
brushing
you
his
have
teeth
5
and
years
what
ago.
first.
misdemeanor do you have?
But what they got to do 5 years
Have
ago
you
is
have
last
you
time I
been?
locked up.
You said 5 years since you've been locked up. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I said, your mentality. The reason why I asked you that, it's not that I ask black men that all the time. I'm married to a black man. I've been married to a black man for 15 years. I asked you that because it's very clear in the way you speak and the way that you look that you're a previous felon or a current felon. It's very obvious. And that's the
I'm
reason
not,
why you spoke in the way that you spoke. And it's very clear. And that's what I was trying to get black women to understand on the panel.
so
And
you over
men
here
will
making
show you
assumptions
who they
about me.
are.
I'm not a felon, young lady.
Men will show you who they are. And
No, you're
all you have to
criminally
do is look.
minded. That's
And
what she's
most of the
saying.
time, you can find out who a man is within about 1 minute of talking to him. He wasn't even talking for 1 minute before it was very obvious that he'd been locked up before. The way he
I was
spoke, you
locked
can
up for
tell.
3 days.
Sir,
I'm
stop it.
criminally minded.
Stop it.
It's
Stop it,
great.
sir.
You asked me a
Look at
question,
Yes,
I
you're
yourself.
answered it, and you
criminally
just ran with it,
minded.
right?
You are
Yes,
criminally
yes.
minded
Three
because you
days.
framed
That's
a
why you said
relationship
choose up.
between a man and a woman as choose up. That is PIMP language. That is not the
That's just how
language
you
of
took it.
people who have healthy
People
relationships.
choose people all
No,
the
it's
time.
not how I took it. No, it's not how I took it. Choose up is specifically
You
a
know, that's
phrasing
why I
that
didn't want to come up
peens
here because
use for
y'all wouldn't even let
304s.
nobody talk.
You
Y'all
didn't
asked
want
one
to come
question.
up here because you don't have the range and you're trying to put us into your criminal mindedness. You're trying to lower our intellectual ability and our thinking skills. That's why I said, listen to what they say. Just like this man in the picture and that man that just came up, the language that they use, listen to what they're saying. Choose up. Are you trying to choose a 3 or 4? What type of relationship do you think we have it?
You
I
know
don't
what?
think
I don't like the whole idea of the fakeness. Cause first of all, you said you was locked up and you ain't been locked up for 5 years. You a felon, but now all of a sudden, what felons do you know that are only in jail for 3 days? I don't know any. I don't know any at all. But like I said, it's very obvious what type of man he was. And I really wish that women will understand it's very clear most of the time what type of man you're dealing with. And that's why I said I was surprised at when I went down this Dana Dane and Bernard, I think that's his name, a rabbit hole that there were so many black women interested when he very clearly was making sure that women, not that he was even trying to do it, but he was very clearly exposing the fact that he's only interested in women on a physical level. But so many black women throwing themselves at him, that was embarrassing to me, like honestly and truly. But I realize with every day that I get on this app that black women don't use critical thinking skills, don't care if a man is bad or not. All they care about is if they think he looks good or if they can have the presence of a man around. And that's exactly why you see so many horror stories on TikTok, because black women don't use their brains. And that's wild and nuts to me. And the reason why Dana Dane plays into this is because even though I dislike a lot of her rhetoric, even though she is correct in some of her takes, even though I dislike a lot of her rhetoric, and I do believe that she's extremely male-centered, I actually did think that she had a lot of, self-esteem and worth, and that she wouldn't let a man play with her. So to see her interacting with such, dare I say, a man with a pookie philosophy and attitude, I was shocked by that. Cause it's like I was surprised that she would even care if he thought that she was attractive or not. I was shocked that she was even angling for his validation or for him to confirm that he thought that she was attractive. That's what blew my mind, because I was like, wow, this guy is very clearly, he ain't no good. But that was shocking to me. So that's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna keep it going. Really. And you know what's crazy to me is that somebody in the comments named Drip. The fact that your name is Drip, it's already crazy that you're upset that I'm calling men Pookies. The funny thing is that when Kevin Samuels was calling black men Pookies and Ray Rays, y'all never had a problem with it. Y'all accepted it. Y'all called him the Godfather. Y'all was glazing this man's meat 24/7 and calling him your daddy. But because I say Pookie, now you can't believe it? Stop it. Please get out of here with your fake outrage. Stop it. Okay? Because y'all had no problems with Kevin Samuels calling y'all Pookies and Ray Rays all day long. But now I say it because, like, okay. Anyway, I'm
Make sure y'all
everybody
tapping
can.
up the screen. We got over 250 people viewing the live. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Let's get Trigger up to 30K likes. Y'all can do it. If y'all can yap in the comments, y'all can tap in them comments. So go ahead, keep tapping the screen, keep gifting the host, and be mindful that this is a Black woman centered space. If you don't like it, you can go.
I'm just gonna just so you guys know, Drip, you're it looks like you're a woman, which I'm really surprised by your, the what you're saying. I sent you a request to come in because I would love to hear what you have to say. But because there's so many people trying to get in and stuff like that, I'm gonna give everybody, y'all have to stay on your time. I'm gonna give y'all 3 minutes. You have to stay on your time and you can't go over. Okay, so I'm gonna start down here with girl talk. Go ahead, girl talk.
I just wanted to double down on women listening, like actively listening, right? Like, I spend a lot of time talking directly to women. Like, I don't even care about the dusty, broke, undesirable men, right? I focus on women, right? Like, holding women accountable. That's what I want to double down on. That's what I'm on. Keeping my foot on women's necks so to help them make better choices, right? Like being able to clock these men as soon as they open their mouths. It's so important, right? And it will save you from years of misery. Like put the goofy up and listen to them because they almost always, it don't even take a lot. Like you're going to know who they are, what they're on just by intentionally and actively listening to them. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm encouraging women to do. Stop being goofies and listen to these guys. Like we clocked old boy respectfully. We clocked him immediately just based on the language he was choosing to use. He was choosing, right? Like, dude, you're talking like a pimp. Why should any woman any woman take you seriously when you're using street hood nigga language? Like, come on, sir. You know what I mean? But women will have conversations with these guys and, get dog walk for years and I didn't know. You did know. You did know. You just chose to overlook it. So that's all I wanted to do is just double down on that part because I felt like we glazed over that. But listen to these men. Like, the red flags be there. You just got to listen to them.
All right, thank you so much, girl talk. And that's really all I was saying is just black women to be paying attention, more attention to the signs. Like I don't know where this turned into something else. But I'm gonna keep going. Let me go down here to Coach T. Go ahead, Coach T.
Oh yeah, I agree with Girl Talk and Trigger, and that I always only talk to women. So don't pay attention to what these men are talking about. And I want women to stop getting so wrapped up in a name or a brand or a creator or an influencer or whatever people are calling themselves now. It's not about this specific man or this specific woman, and not even necessarily this specific interaction. It is about women understanding. It's about women's mentality. It's about women's behaviors. It's about women's ideologies and pathologies and the things that we're doing. Because ultimately it's going to be you who is the one who is left holding the bag or holding the baby, so to speak, when you continue to allow these types of people to be around you in your life, in your energy. You want to be in relationships with. No, cut it off. Stop this. Don't, no, stop it. Like, that's why I said, just stop, slow down, take a minute and really listen to what he is saying. And I want to reiterate, for women, understanding where you are in your hormonal cycle is going to save you a lot of headache, heartache, and trips to clinics and doctor's offices. Because when you are ovulating, the way a man smell will even get you excited. So just know and understand what's going on within your body so you can make better decisions and not be looking at no man thinking he's the best thing walking the earth this week because the hormones, and then next week is something completely different. So this is not even about men. This is for women, especially Black women. I implore you to understand and listen to what these men are saying. Watch how they moving, watch how they're acting, because ultimately, as Black women, we are the ones who are always left to have to live out our accountability in our decision making, whatever it is, whether it's through um having to raise children alone, if it's being left with broken credit, if it's being left with finances, and whatever it is, we are always left to do it alone. There is no community to hold you up and support you. There is not going to be no man who is going to come in and save you. Save yourself. Save yourself from the heartache, the frustration, the annoyance. Save yourself from going insane and crazy over a man who tells you up front the type of time that he's on. A man who says, I'm not interested if you're not trying to bust it open. Okay, next. Even if you want to. If he said, nope, nope, next. A man who say, choose up. Nope, nope, next. No, thank you. Cut it off.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T, and I definitely agree. And I really, every time we have discussions like this, I'm always shocked at the lack of critical thinking and the ability to comprehend that it seems like is, very, very prevalent in American people. It's like we're if you don't get the context of what we're saying, then maybe you should sit and listen. But yeah. Anyway, let me just keep going so everybody can get a chance to speak. I'll say something later. Go ahead, Blessed.
Hi. So I think the main thing is that when you're dealing with male centered women, you really have to take a step back and decide if that's who you want to be around, because women need hobbies, they need goals, they need self-love, they need self-worth, they need the ability to be able to pour in themselves and be able to heal themselves so that they won't accept certain type of behavior, and they have a certain outlook on life, and it doesn't help to be it helps to be well traveled as well. um I'm realizing that a lot of women that are male centered, they don't love themselves at the core. They don't have hobbies that don't go outside of men. A lot of them are well traveled, but if they're well traveled, it is with a man. So I feel like it's two types of women. There's women that love themselves first and then they want a partner so that they can love each other. And then there's women that will throw herself at the bottom of the sea and hold that man up with a hand coming out of the ocean, you know, sort of like the Statue of Liberty, so that she could say that she has a man. So you have to decide, what you want for yourself and what type of company you want to keep. Because I honestly don't think that as a whole, we're going to do better until women start choosing themselves first, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, educationally, financially. I mean, right now, Black women are the number one with master's degrees. So educationally, we got it. But in financially, I mean, we're doing well, even though 300,000 have recently been laid off, but we're doing well. But how are we doing with self-worth? How are we doing with individualism? How are we doing with just investing solely into ourselves so that we don't tolerate as much? So I feel like we have a ways to go, but women as a whole, and I feel like it's going to be two groups. There's going to be women that heal themselves and women that just want to heal a man, and both of those can't go two and two. And I personally don't feel that women should even consider dating till they are fully healed, because when you are fully healed and truly healed, you're not going to let nobody disturb your peace. You're not going to let no one come in here and treat you any type of way and say, hey, you're just for boom boom time. Or you're just, when I need someone to talk to. Or you're just for when I just want to have a pretty face, shoulder on my arm. You're going to respect yourself more and say, hey, no, I deserve respect. I want to be treated with respect. You can't talk to me any type of way. You can't use my body any type of way. So,
All right. All right. I appreciate you, Blessed. All right. Let me go down here to Monette. You there, man, yet? I'll give you a couple seconds. Let me try to help you turn your mic on. If not, I'll go down here to. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, looking at everything going on right now, if you look at like the statistics right now, like you have like there's always been more women than there are men, right? Unfortunately, you also see where there's a lot of men who are still single right now. However, there's more women in the world, but more women are not single. So a lot of women are dealing with the same man. Scientifically, there's never been a possible way for everyone to have a heterosexual relationship, if that's what you're looking for everyone to have a designated partner. So unfortunately, for thinking of it from a retrospect for that, instead of a woman wanting to choose themselves, and even if it meant that they might possibly have to be by themselves in order to fully respect themselves, maintain their peace, actually maintain their values, a lot of women, they would be more than willing to throw that away and grapple at straws in order to just say that they have someone, even if they knowingly know that they're sharing that man with someone else. And they would sit up there and feel as if somehow attacking women that don't take part in that, somehow that makes them feel as if they are actually better. I think that's where a lot of the pick-me mentality comes from as well. Like they're trying to battle themselves because deep down they have to know. Like deep down they have to know that ultimately they're not really being chosen. Ultimately, they're not truly being desired. They're just accessible. And the man knows that they're accessible. And they're hoping that eventually by them sacrificing themselves, oh, eventually this man will choose me. But deep down, they know that he won't. But when other women actually come and speak against that, like, well, why aren't you wanting better for yourself? Why aren't you doing this? Instead of actually looking at the man that's using them as a threat, they will actually sit up there and combat with the woman who actually is trying to hold space for her to a certain degree to be like, hey, sis, get yourself together. Like what you're doing is actually, it's not beneficial in any sense of the word for you. It's only beneficial to him. I feel like they've got to know.
Okay.
They just act like they don't.
All right. I appreciate you, Maniette. I just wanted to say to a man in the comments, let me go down here. Your name is Just Vibe. You know, I really, like you said, nobody's checking for one of the ladies that I really respect in the chat, super villain. Like respectfully, Just Vibe, nobody's checking for you. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there taking a picture in your car, it look like you got put a whole bunch of chicken grease all over your face. You know what I'm saying? Like you look highly suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's checking for you. And my thing is that y'all be so quick to say something to a woman but never checking yourself, and the fact that you got this like extremely aggressive energy towards women, and that may be something that you might need to check on like internally and wonder why you're such a trash individual. But I'm just gonna go ahead and block you because that's not what we about to do in here. You know, I just wanted you to know that. But let me keep going to Drip, because I really wanted to hear your perspective, because I didn't understand where you was coming from, the energy like with the Pookie stuff and all of that, and yeah, just I'd like to hear your perspective and your thoughts. Go ahead, Drip.
Okay, sorry. So my point of view is the rhetoric behind how we speak on black people. I'm for the forward movement of black people in general. Because if there's no black woman, there's no black man, there's no black child, there's no continuance of black people. So to call a black man a pookie to I mean, essentially, you're saying the same thing white men say about black men, about black women. All of these things are the same things being said. We can get out of this live, go to another live somewhere else under a MAGA live, and they saying the same thing about us that is being said here. Like that was one, my issue. Two, the drip thing, drip like jewelry. Like it wasn't something to kind of try to dig at me about. That wasn't necessary. But I wholeheartily agree with a
Okay,
lot
I'm
of
gonna
things
go
they're
ahead. I'm
saying.
gonna go ahead and interject, and then I'll reset your timer. First of all, you were in the comments saying a lot of things that were coming from a critical perspective. You were like, why are we talking about Pookies? Why are we doing this, that, and the third? So I said, why is your name Drip? That goes off into the same mentality that we're talking about. So I did need to say it, and I could say it because you came in here with the same energy that you didn't want me to reciprocate to you. And Pookie is not the N word. I am a black woman. So I'm not saying anything in regards to any type of racist rhetoric towards anybody. But if you look like a criminal, you look like a felon, you are a felon.
So
I
that's
ask
literally
you,
the same
excuse
viewpoint
me,
that
let me
white men
stop,
have.
let me
That
stop. Let me don't interrupt me. This is my live. I've never talked to you a day in my life. Don't disrespect me. I told you I would let you speak again. I have no problem doing that. But if you misrepresent what I'm saying, then I'm going to interject because it's my live. So as I was saying, I didn't say anything that was racist to that man. I knew for a fact what we're not going to do is play games when we don't see what we see and act like we don't see it. That man said, choose up. I saw that man's face. I saw the way he talked. I knew he had been in jail. I knew that he was a felon. I knew it. I knew it, and I was what? Right. So don't get mad at me because I made a judgment call and an assumption on something that I knew probably 99% of the fact would be true. That's not me being anti-black. Me talking about the state of the black community and saying that women need to do better and not go after men that they know are going to break their heart or hurt their feelings. That's not ruining the black community. And if you think that's ruining the black community, then what you need to do is go to male spaces and ask them, excuse me, and implore them to do better. But I can guarantee you, if you take yourself being a black woman into the majority of the spaces where these Pookies and Ray Rays reside, they're going to tell you to shut your black behind up, and they're not checking for black women. And that's just the fact. And I understand the point that you're talking about black people this, black people that. I'm married to a black man, have been for 15 years. He's a great man. I have black children. I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't mean that in the thought of that we live in a world of delusion on the state of the black community, what black men are, what black women are, what black women are going through. Black women are 7 to 10 times more likely to be unalive than any other race of woman in the United States. And 99% of the time, they're being unalive by a black man. Black women and black girls are more likely to be ex-trafficked and a lot of other things that are happening by the men in our community. So for you to come up here and make it like you don't understand why women are having the thoughts that they're having, not to mention all of the bashing, online bashing and stuff that goes on, and for people to say, oh, well, they're black women, there are black women that bash black men just the way black men bash black women. You can look at something that's tangible as a ratio. Kevin Samuels had 1 million followers. However, Cynthia G, who is definitely regarded as a black man hater, I don't think that she is, but that's what she's regarded as. She has right now 78,000 followers on YouTube. So that should tell you the difference in what's going on here. So I don't really want to hear like the unification and all of that stuff until we fix what's going on with black women. And that's who I choose to focus on, women and girls that are going through the same experiences as me. So I don't choose to focus on a word like Pookie when there's literal music out here that was a whole genre that black men created to call black women bitches and 304s and luts and to talk about their only worth is what's in between their legs. So, yeah, you're going to have to go somewhere else with the respectability politics. But you can go ahead, though. I'm going to reset your timer. Go ahead, Drip. I reset your timer. I'll mute up.
okay, so again, so you agree with what I'm saying essentially. Like I'm not saying that black men need to stop this or black women need to stop. I didn't say any of that. All I'm saying is we need to be nicer to one another. That was the first layer. I didn't even get to speak for 5 seconds, and it's a slew of black women disrespecting me on the back of just a few seconds of what I said. I didn't even get to my point. So again, girl talk, okay, this is what I'm saying. So how is it that if I have a difference in opinion or y'all don't even know what I have to say, but before I even get to say anything, everybody's look at the chat and look at how we're speaking to I'm a black woman. So I don't get an opinion because I don't agree with you or I have something else to say or I have a
You
different
have an
perspective.
opinion. You have a right to your opinion.
So am I'm confused. I completely
Drip.
understand that I have a right to my opinion.
Yes, you have a right to your opinion, sis.
So
I never said you
am I
didn't.
gonna be able to talk or?
I was letting you talk just then. What are you? You were just
But
talking.
you told me not to talk while you were talking, so that's why I'm confused.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop, but I just want you to know the reason why there's a difference is because this is my live.
But I
You
didn't get to what have I
go ahead.
said? What
Hey,
have
I
I said
got
to anybody as of yet?
Go ahead, go ahead. Please
What was
finish.
my opinion on the topic?
I'm gonna start it one more time. I'm gonna start the restarting
Like,
timer yet again. Please make your point. I'm gonna restart it for you.
if
Okay.
I stop getting interrupted, how can I? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to have a conversation just like everybody else. I didn't even get to the point of disagreeing or agreeing. I can sit here and say I agree with what you're saying. I just wanted to start off with that. I wanted to start off with that because that's what you addressed me with initially. So to get back to the conversation, I completely agree. One thing I do agree about is black women are the most educated. We are the most paid, but we do need to take a step up from these men, like y'all said. We do need to take a step up. Like you said, we don't need to be dating felons. Why? Because we know better. We know better and we can do better. But we can have at it. That was all I had to say. My whole thing was the rhetoric behind what was being said. I was just saying, hey, let's just clear that up because we can go in another live and white people will be doing the same thing. But at the same time, like y'all saying, I agree to what was being said. But it is what it is. I don't really want to talk no more because it's kind of crazy how I thought I was in a space of black women where I could have an opinion, and y'all are just. I mean, this is crazy how disrespectful it is. It's crazy. I just thought I was going to be able to have something to say, but I guess not. Black y'all pick and choose what black women you want to listen to or have an opinion on.
Right. Or were you done speaking, Drip? I just wanted to make sure. First of all, what I wanted to say is that nobody did that. And I really hate when people come up and they play like a pity party and they make it seem like it's not. You were defending that man Flip that came up here that was a felonious criminal. Out of his own admission, that's what he was. And you were talking about we needed to be nicer to him. That is the definition of being a pick me right there. That you come in a space for women and center this man that was talking really crazy in the chat that meant nobody on the panel any good. And then you start weaponizing white people and the black community and all of this stuff and try to make somebody feel some type of way because of what is being said. The reason why the women reacted to you the way that they did is because you were very clearly full of crap. And that's just being honest with you. And that's just keeping it real. You made such a big point about somebody interrupting you and not allowing you to speak, and you don't disagree, and this, that, and the third. You don't disagree, and this, that, and the third. Then when somebody, and then you say, hey, don't speak while I'm speaking. I went ahead and swallowed my pride and muted up, and you still didn't say anything at all, except rant and rave about how you felt that somebody should have protected that man that was a felon. And that's exactly the reason why black women are not respected right now by the collective of black men, because black men know that they can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can talk crazy to another black woman. They can be a felon. They can be a bum. They can be a loser. They can be a pookie. And it's always going to be a black woman that comes up here and says, what about the black community? What about the black community? We got to save our brothers. We got to save our brothers. We got to protect our kings. When if you are in a situation, a life-threatening situation, the majority of the time, these men that you are placing yourself in defense of wouldn't even help you. You would have a way more likelier opportunity for a black woman to help you. But you would rather not place yourself in defense of black women because even though you are one, it's because you subconsciously think less than them and you put black men on a pedestal. And to me, that is so very embarrassing to see black women do these things. And that's exactly why I made the live, because it's very strange that there are so many black women that do this. Nobody said that you have to say, because I never said that all black men are this, all black men are that. And I'm not looking at it from a racist lens like somebody white to you would be doing. I said that man was a pookie because he was one. And I think that a lot of black women, y'all have got to work on your discernment. That's the reason why y'all are out here getting baby mamaed, dogged out, and played with, because you do not use your discernment. Anybody with a working medulla oblongata, whatever the word is, y'all know what I'm saying, okay? And by his own admission, he was exactly what I said. So you're not going to shame me for no shit. He was exactly what I said. So you're not gonna shame me for knowing a Pookie when I see one. Okay? You're not gonna shame me for that. And once again, I know that when Kevin Samuels was calling all of these black men Pookies and Ray Rays and this and that, you wasn't saying nothing to him about it, Nathaniel. When he was saying that black women are the lowest of the low, and watch out for black women, that a Latina is a black woman's worst nightmare and all of this other stuff, I know you wasn't nowhere in no spaces defending us though. And that's the problem. This one-sided loyalty has got to stop. It's got to stop. We will never be respected. If there's in no other way is this acceptable. If you keep giving to somebody and they never give to you, it creates a sense of entitlement and also a sense of disrespect. And the reason why black women, one part of the reason why they are disrespected is because you constantly throw yourself on the sword for black men. Honestly, if you really wanted to talk to black women, why didn't you talk to black women? Like, what? Why are you talking about this? Never mind. Let me just keep going. I'm going to go down here to Jabari, because Jabari said in the comments that everybody is hurt. And I really wish that y'all would stop using words that y'all heard online. Ain't nobody hurt in here. I think that any black woman that is truly hurt by the state of the black community or by black men's behavior by now, I don't know how you could still be hurt by it, because it's not going to stop. But you can go ahead. Go ahead, Jabari. I'm going to set your timer. Go ahead.
So, yeah, so how come it just seemed like, you projecting?
I didn't
Mostly
projecting
all you
what?
women.
Projecting what? Answer
So
that.
let me
Projecting
ask
what?
you this. Did you feel this way? When you was a kid growing up? Did you feel this anger, towards, us people or a black man in general?
Okay, so
Did you
let me
feel
say
this
this.
way
I
growing
was
up?
raised with both of my parents who were married in
I'm
the
not
suburbs.
asking that.
My black
I'm
father
not
and my black mother. So no, I
okay, I'm
wasn't
not
angry.
asking.
Once
So
again,
no
let
no
me
no
just say
no.
this. No. Because I know where you're going with this. Let me say this as well. I'm married currently, right now, to a black man, a beautiful black man that pays all the bills. Shocker. Pays all the bills. I've been married for 15 years. It'll be 16 years next month. I don't have any anger. All I have is pragmatism. I see what's going on in the world. I see the state of what's going on. I see what's happening to black women. I see the statistics. I see what's going on. And so I choose to speak about it. Me speaking about something that is a very tangible reality doesn't equal hatred. And I think that's the problem with a lot of y'all, is that y'all equate the truth to hatred. Y'all equate the truth to bashing. Me saying that black women need to make sure if a black man comes online and says,
You
hey, I
married.
only
Why are
care
you
us,
telling
stop it.
women to do what you not doing?
Okay, stop talking. If you are a black woman, me
You are
saying,
married. Talking about.
okay, I'm gonna drop you. Okay. So once again, I'm married, but not to somebody like you, Jabari. That's the difference. You're a bum. I'm not married to somebody like you. I'm not married to men that are in your circle. I'm not married to a man like your daddy. That's the difference. So you saying that I'm married and bringing that up doesn't mean anything, because the man that my man is not the man that you are. And it's not the man that a lot of black women will come in contact with. But you calling me angry for telling black women that if a man automatically starts talking about intercourse with you on a TikTok live, or talking about who's giving it up and who's not giving it up, if you don't understand that that is a problem, first of all, a black woman should just automatically disconnect the live. Why are you talking to him? Me telling black women to make better choices, how is that resulting in me saying that I'm angry or whatever the case may be? And really, I'm thinking about this in time while I'm speaking. I really think that the problem is that the reason why when y'all hear black women say things like this to other black women, you say, hey, black woman, you should be abstinent. Hey, black woman, you shouldn't have intercourse with these men. You should protect your womb. You should do better. You should, make sure that you pay attention to these men. You should focus on going to school and building up your own bag. You should do that. Y'all come up here and want to silence me because you really want black women to continue to do poorly. That's what it is. You want to be able to tell those women, look down on them and say, oh, you should have chose better, or oh, you're ruined because you have children now and that man left you, or whatever. Y'all don't actually really want black women to do better. That's the reason why anytime you hear a black woman saying that black women should do better, y'all come in my comments trying to stop it, because y'all do not want black women to do better. You want to be able to oppress black women. You want to be able to use black women. You want to be able to take advantage of their bodies. You want to be able to have them birth your children and not give them any type of security. That's what y'all really want. And now I see it. Now I see it, Jabari. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me go over here to T Scorpio. Go ahead, T.
Yeah, yeah, he's a pookie. Yeah, yeah, he was a pookie. Yeah, yeah, with a mammy for a mommy. She should have went to Planned Parenthood. He is a pookie. Yep, yep, y'all pookie. Straight
T.
up, straight up, straight up. Straight up. We listen, we're not your mammies. We're not your grandmoms that allow Earl up the street, having her head knocked, getting her head knocked between the washer and dryers when you had two families up the street. We're not your grandmammies. We're not your mammies anymore. We are not going to sit up here and put up with your bullshit, your toxic behavior, your misogyny or misogynoir, or abuse from y'all just because of the sake of y'all black men. Straight up and down. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that no more. And any woman that feel that what we are doing is wrong, you can continue to keep putting books on your pookie boyfriend in jail that have a girlfriend up in prison. Okay? Okay? He's dating another man in prison while you are putting money on his books because he's a black man and you want to help him. You keep being a goofy and let him come home and give you the big H. Okay? You can continue to keep doing it. Okay, we're not here for that. We're putting a change in the next generation. We're not even necessarily trying to save women in their 30s and 40s and 50s. We have to set an example for the 18-year-olds that's coming up, for the 19-year-old girls that's coming up, for the girls that's in high school that's looking up at us saying that, oh, what kind of man should we get? No, it's not about living your life focusing trying to get a man. Your purpose in life should be for yourself. Your purpose in life should be to be healthy and happy, be educated as possible. So this way, if you so choose to have a lifetime partner, you would choose correctly. Make the right choice, not because he's black, not because you want to help the race, which is not your damn responsibility in the first place. Because as you can see how ungrateful these men are coming from single mothers, and they still hate single mothers. Okay, and we don't want that for you no more. We don't want that for the black women no more. So we're gonna come in hard. We're gonna be as aggressive as we gonna be to knock that mammy mentality out of your heads, ladies. Stop contributing to your own misery. It's high time that we tell each other the truth. We have to tell each other the truth to see a difference. If y'all want to see the black race be uplifted, then this is how it's done. This is exactly how it's done. Choosing better. We have to use our critical thinking. We got to use our common sense, and we definitely got to stop playing the perpetual victimhood. Stop being your own victims in situations you put yourself in. Just like the example that we just saw. We clocked that felon 5 minutes of him running his big fat mouth. All it takes us to sit there and be quiet and let these pookies run their big fat mouth and they reveal themselves. And then when we kick them to the curb, what happened? A mammy came up to defend him. Stop doing that. Stop it. We have common sense for a reason. There is no sense to be educated, being the top educated women in the world, and you're still being hoodwinked by a man that barely got a GED. That is embarrassing. Can you imagine being a woman with a PhD getting hoodwinked by a dude that read a level on the 7th grade? Seriously. That's because your self-esteem is in the trash, because you allow the black community to go and sink into your mind and tell you your self-worth is nothing without a man, when you are literally the prize. Instead of motivating the men to be better, you give them easy access to you, and that's not a good thing to do. Never, ever, ever meet a man halfway to get to you. If you are a woman with a master's degree, you better not be talking to no man unless he got a PhD. Straight up. Choose better, not just in education, not just in finances, but his character. Is he generous? Is he nice? Is he respectable? Is he teachable? Is he
All right.
patient? Is he nurturing?
All right.
Please, ladies. All right, I'm sorry, Trick. I just had to go off real quick.
Oh no, that's okay. I just wanted to say real quick to somebody in the comments because I'm really trying to keep it together. I wanted to say this, and then I'll probably block this person, Hustle Kev, that says this app is the worst thing that happened to our community. Nothing but trauma bonding. This really, I also think that for the black women that was like drip that came up here that really want to save the black community, or they really want to quote unquote save black men, these are the type of black men that you really need to take your time since you want a mammy and mule, then you should take your time to talk to these men right here that literally have no critical thinking skills. They hear some type of accountability that is being directed towards black men and they turn off all other thought. And then they turn that into trauma bonding. Nobody said anything that would be trauma bonding here. And I hate it when you uneducated Negroes that don't read any books and the only thing y'all do when y'all get off work is go sit in front of y'all computer and play Call of Duty. If y'all got one, probably just playing it on y'all old out-of-date Xbox. And my thing is this, is that you black women telling other black women to do better, to focus on education, to not allow men to use their bodies, to maintain being abstinent, things like that. How was that trauma bonding telling black women to do better, to demand respect from black men, to not allow themselves to be mistreated by not only black men, but any other race of man? Because it was a woman in the comments that said, oh, we won't have these problems if we choose other races of men, which is not true at all, which is the reason why you have black women like that lady that went viral, whose white boyfriend told her, hey, I didn't even know black women could be attractive until I saw you. And she talking about that's so nice. Like, no, that's not nice. That's an insult. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that how is telling black women to love themselves, that have self-esteem, to not let any man play in their face, regardless of race, how is that trauma bonding? And that really lets me know that all y'all want is black women to be the doormats that you wipe your feet on. And that's disgusting to me, that you want to say all of these things about the black community and black men and black that, but y'all expose every time we talk about the fact that you guys do not care about the very women that you come from. And my thing is that when y'all say community, 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 and y'all say like black men, and y'all put black men and black women together, the reason why I feel like that should not happen right now is because there are a lot of things that are really resting on the black man's doorstep. Like I said earlier, black femicide, black men commit the like 95, 7, 8% of all of the unalivings in the black community, not black women. So when you say like, oh, it's a community issue, no, it's not. When you talk about X trafficking, you talk about all of these young girls that are 12, 13, 14 that are kidnapped and forced into prostitution. Who's doing that? That's black men that are preying on these black girls. And also girls that they have also broken down mentally that lure black girls out there into this type of lifestyle. Black women make up less than 10% of the population of women, but make up 60% of all the unalivings of women. Like when y'all talking about this, oh, it's the black community. No, black women deserve a right to focus on themselves because we are having issues that y'all are not having. Nobody's preying on y'all but y'all. Black women are not preying on you. When you see black women outside at night and they got some bonnets on, you're not afraid for your life. You're not scared. When you at a club and a girl, if she bought you a drink, you're not thinking that she's going to do anything to you and take you somewhere and grape you and then traffic you somewhere else to another state and city and have you blowing balls for $10 a pop. You're not thinking that. So get out of here, bro, and do better. And if you want to fix the black community, Hustle Kev, the first person that you could fix is you because you are ignorant and tone deaf and out of order. So if you want to fix the black community, start with you. Start with any unfortunate sons that come from your semen. Start with that. Start with them. And then maybe you can make a change. All right? Anywho, let me keep going. Go ahead, supervillain.
Thank you, Trig. Real quick, housekeeping.
Y'all tap up the screen, please. We're having great conversation. Trix makes it a wonderful, safe space for us to have our opinions. Leading into that last lady drip was such a disappointment. She tried to disparage, and some of y'all in the comments as well, which I tried to block all of y'all, try to disparage this place. Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all can take a long scroll. There are tens, hundreds, I'd even say thousands of lives where y'all can go and they are coddling black men. They got them in their bosom. They singing sweet nothings in their mother effing ears. It's not going to be over here. This is literally the one space on TikTok where black women can say what they want to say unapologetically, and y'all not going to come over here and police how we talk. Y'all got thousands or hundreds of TikToks where y'all can go and coddle black men. Again, it's not going to be over here. Mind y'all, it's not even like this dude was a Martin Luther King type. He was a felon. She's defending a felon. A felon. And this is why these pick-mes are so dangerous, because they will undermine the safety of other women and children for a random black man. Who knows what the crime that he committed was? By the way, it's likely something violent, like, I don't know, going upside a black woman or child's head, because that happens every 4 to 5 unemployed business hours of black men. This is why women like this is so dangerous. We are literally talking about how pick-mes are dangerous. She changed the whole trajectory of a life to defend a felon she does not know behind the guise of community. You know what happens in community? Like I said, when black women and black men come together, black women's heads are separated from their bodies. Children are assaulted. Just bad things happen right now. You don't have to worry about, if you were so worried about the community, why don't you line up these black men who are committing treason every day by unaliving black women and children? Y'all don't find that treason. Y'all find black women coming on TikTok discussing their pains and their experiences. That's the treason. But when these dudes are out here playing Jumanji with our lives and our children's lives, y'all have absolutely nothing to say. It's free homie, even though he did it. It's protect the felon. He has a right to say something. Not on our watch. Not over here. Again, there are 100 places where you can go and slurp a felon, a Pookie, a Ray Ray. It is not going to be here. I yield, Trey.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, super villain. I just wanted to say, somebody in the comments said, I just want to read it. Let
Dude,
me go
I
back
saw
up
it
in
too.
here.
Go ahead.
She says, I think something about like, are we not in support of the black community? I really hate that when black women attempt to try to center themselves in any way, not only are black men disregarding it, but there are also black women that disregard it as well. Anytime you have all of these live posts where there are black men that talk about the black community and how hard black men have it and all of that, they don't take any of that stuff from black women coming in there talking about, well, what about the black woman? And if a black man comes up in there and tries to say anything like that, they call him a simp and a punk and kick him out. I have no idea why black women consistently and constantly do things like that, and also just try to ignore what they're like what we're saying. Everyone knows that black men make up part of the black community, but black women are the most disrespected. Malcolm X said that in the 1960s, and it's still true to this day. I don't think that anyone would debate the fact that black women are grossly unprotected. That's the reason why we lead in the majority. We lead in the most aggressive crimes happen to black women, the most rapes, the most unalivings, all of that. So my thing is that why wouldn't you as a black woman want to stay focused on that and stay focused on black women and black girls? That doesn't mean that you have to, that black men are non-existent. What it means is that our main focus would be to protect black women and black girls, because we're the most vulnerable, because we're the ones being preyed upon. We're not the ones doing the preying on others. So I have no idea why there are so many black women that want to come in here and start talking about everybody else. I really feel like y'all are the ones that give give those invites out to the cookout to white tea people that do the bare minimum. A white tea person, all they got to do is rap a doggone Jay-Z song, and the next thing you know, you're saying they black like you, and all of this stuff is really insane. Like, I don't understand it. You work against not only our interests, but your own as well. Please do better. Let me go down here to Juneteenth.
Grand Rising Queens. I'm joking. That's my little thing I do.
Hotep sister.
Hotep back at you. I just want to say, and I'm gonna try this out. We need to be nice to black. We need to let the black men lean on. We gotta help the black men. No, stop asking us for help. Stop asking us to be leaned on. Stop asking us for a place to live. And I came up here specifically because that young lady was up here. She was, I didn't get a chance to speak, but you were speaking. You're literally speaking right now and didn't say nothing. And it only gave me red pill vibes. And that's what the men do. I can't get it out. I can't get it out. But you got the floor stink and you never said a word. And I wanted to say something else. I wanted to also go back to, I'm not going to be nice to men who have the propensity to unalive me, who have the likelihood to harm me. What do I look like being nice to them? Once again, 98% in the black community of violent crimes are committed by black men. 98%. So that means that when I walk up to y'all and say, how you doing? Hi, hey, how you doing? That there's a possibility that down the line you could choke me out. That down the line you could, tell your friend to choke me out. That if I'm going to my car late at night, y'all gonna meet me there. Why would I trust y'all? Why would I do that? The last person that harmed me was a black man. The first man to ever harm me was a black man. So tell me why I should trust a black man. And I hate when y'all use those words like trauma bonding and narcissist. And y'all don't know what they mean. You don't have a clue. And for drippy or trippy young lady, you are the young ladies that I speak about when I go live. You're the woman that will leave a woman in the club so you can go hang out with a nigga. You're dangerous. You have no place in this community. And I wanted to say this as well. When people talk about the black family, people think of black men. Y'all don't think about black women and the kids that we taking care of and that we have to feed and that we have to clothe and love. Y'all think about black men. When they're up on the podium and talking about black families and the black people and the black this, they're not talking about black women. They're talking about black men. We're not in their equation. So it seems to me that if we're not in their equation, that the only thing that they can do is try to eliminate us. So when I speak to black women, I say, go to school, read a book. If you can't get a formal education, go to the library, read some books, educate yourself, become versed on whatever it is you want to do. But baby, if you ever hear a woman saying, no, but the man, click, boom. They're all in the same category because she's dangerous too. She'll set you up in a heartbeat. I yield.
All right. I appreciate you, Juneteenth. There's somebody in the comments that said, when did we start doing things like this? It was a black woman, unfortunately. When did we start doing things like this instead of loving each other or something like that, like we were doing back in the day? I really think that I really urge black women to I feel like if you say these things, then maybe you're not educated on, the history of like what's occurred with black women, specifically black women in America. Are you not aware of what happened to like black women in spaces like the Black Panthers, how they were abused and raped and mistreated, and still the Black Panthers hold this high regard because of all the secrets that black women held inside of their souls of the negative experiences that they were having? Have you ever watched any of the documentaries that are easily accessible on YouTube for free from the 1950s and 60s and 70s where black women talk about being left and abandoned and hurt by black men? Some of the same things that they talk about now, black men and they're, putting non-black women on a pedestal and loving on those women and treating those women, like they were so much better than black women. Like none of the things that we're talking about right now is anything new. And I feel like if you do say that, then you and I'm trying to keep my voice level because sometimes I talk a little louder and I get passionate about what I'm saying, but I'm really trying to keep my voice level so that you can, because some people will turn their head off. If you like raise their voice, they'll turn their ears off. That triggers them. So I'm trying to keep my voice low so that you can understand that the thought process when Black women say things like that it comes from a complete place of miseducation. The same way I feel about Black men or Black women, mind you, that put white people up on the pedestal, that come up like divester women, that not that you can't date out, but the type of divester women that think everything is going to be perfect just because he has white skin. Like, I feel like those type of people cannot be educated on the history of anything. Not the history of how Black men, Black women were treated, what we've had to go through as a people, or anything. And that's scary to me that a lot of y'all can be so passionate about things and be so grossly uneducated. Like, I just don't understand how you can feel passionate about something that you have not even taken the time to educate yourself about. And that's really all I have to say is that a lot of Black women, y'all have got to do better, man, because the reason why you continually get dogged out is because you refuse to think critically, honestly. But let me go down here to Niche Moet. Sorry.
Hello, hi.
Hey,
Um,
how you doing?
I do agree with a lot of things that have been said already. My 2 cents on this is because of the girl that you added. Before she was even seen with Bernard, I seen another video of her. And I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a video of 2 plus-size dark-skinned girls in Miami. And they weren't allowed in the club, and it was because they were too big and too dark, right? And everybody was making, right? And everybody was making videos responding to these girls saying that, oh, Miami has a certain body type. You have to look a certain way. Da 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 da. They want certain women in these clubs. Rah rah rah. And I was like, okay, cool. If y'all say the women were too big for the club, they were too big for the club. What about the too dark comment? And she never addressed the too dark comment. And that's what really irked my soul. And she also, like, she degraded these plus size girls. And if I'm looking at her, she looks bigger. You get what I'm trying to say? And I just did not understand her whole stance on the situation, especially as a Black woman. Like, I didn't understand her entire stance of the situation. So yeah, I do agree with a lot of the things that was said in the panel, and they are very harmful to us.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Niche. All right, let me go over here to Girl Talk. I think you haven't had a chance to speak in a while. Go ahead, Girl Talk. Let me set your timer for you, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to speak to why I talk the way I do to women, and in particular, women of color. It's because I look at the data, right? Like, what's interesting to me is people always make the wild assumption that sharing truth means that you're somehow, speaking from a place of trauma. No, that's not what it is. I'm speaking from a place of what's true. And just to give you guys some of that truth, and I encourage you all to Google this yourself. According to the FBI data, the biggest threat to your life is a man as a woman. This is why I have the conversations I have with women. Let me say that again. The biggest threat to your life is a man. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Recent data tells us that over 95% of all violent crimes were committed by men. 99% of all sexual assault crimes committed by men. 96% of all robberies committed by men. 96% of aggravated assault crimes committed by men. So miss me with the foolishness. We are having these conversations to help protect women, to help women protect themselves, right? We aren't having these conversations because we just hate all men. We're having these conversations because men are a problem. And women not knowing how to vet, women not knowing what to look out for, women not knowing how dangerous it can be to your life and your children's life. when you don't know what to look out for. That's why we're having these conversations. You're literally talking to a panel full of women that are married, have black sons, black brothers, right? Like some goofy male in a comment said something along the lines of, oh, why are we talking down? Sir, if you can't stand in the truth about men, it's because you're hyper emotional, right? That's a you problem. That's not our problem. And that's one of the main reasons why I consistently push and have the conversations that I'm having, helping women understand what's true. Because let's be honest here. We have all been socially conditioned to be goofies for men. At some point, we were all kind of wrapped up in these fairy tale cartoons and had these pick-me mindsets, right? But guess what happens? You educate yourself and you elevate out of that. So that is why we're having these conversations. It's not because we're dealing with trauma. It's not because we're lonely and bitter and single. No, we're trying to help women understand what's true.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, girl talk. I just think that I just want to say real quick, I'll let everybody else speak. I do think that it's very strange that and I've noticed a double standard is that when there are black men that have panels and they talk about hey, girl talk, somebody flagged girl talk and reported her. Somebody reported girl talk and it removed girl talk from the live. I just want y'all to know that. So if you guys could do me a favor, if y'all see any men, my mods in the chat, just automatically block any men that you see that have made any comments. Just block them. Because normally it's men that do that type of thing. So if y'all could just block the men. And what's crazy is that if you notice that Girl Talk said nothing that was wrong. She didn't even say anything of her own personal opinion. All she said was statistics. And that's my thing is that when you have these lies where they talk about like black women and being single mothers and how black women are losing, ruining the community and black women are their weaves and lashes and wigs and all of this other stuff, I noticed that when there are black women that push back against that, people just say, "Oh, we're just trying to help you. Why you so mad? Why you so this and that and the third?" But it's so funny that that's not reciprocated when it comes to black women because nobody said anything except facts, and y'all reported her and got her kicked off the live. And I think that that's absolutely disgusting to me. Is that y'all refuse to hear any truth? And honestly, for anyone that really cares about the black community and you say that you're an equal advocate for not only black women but also black men, until black men can hear the truth and acknowledge it and sit in it without getting angry and trying to stop people from saying it, they will never be able to do it. The reason why black men unalive each other the most, are the most violent to their women statistically, why they're the least employed statistically, why they are the least educated statistically, the least enrolled in college, is because they refuse to sit in the things that they are doing wrong and work on improving it. So if you are a person that is an advocate to black men, and I'm not saying that that's even a problem, if you want to be an advocate to black men, do that. But in order to get black men to do better, you have got to first help them to not be so angered and triggered by the truth. Because nothing that I say, because people will say, "Oh, you hate black men. You hate black men." Me saying that doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge that there are some good black men out there, but I also acknowledge the very real statistics and the things that go on in the black community. And I think that's what Drip's problem was, is that you are conflating the truth with hatred. Me saying the truth about somebody when I see what I see is not wrong. But anyway, let me just go. I think Supervillain said she had something to say first. So I'll let her speak first and then I'll go to the rest of you ladies, if y'all don't
Yeah.
mind.
Thank you, Trick. I just wanted to represent for the women who I am one of those women who do actually hate all men. I am single. I'll even take bitter. I have no problem being labeled bitter. Not lonely, because these niggas won't leave me alone. So definitely not that. But all these names that they say, who freaking cares what they think? The demographic is out here doing it with monitor lizards and apple pies. If I ever considered how they thought about me, please tie me up and drop me at the local river. I do not care what they think. Why do we have to even do the sidebar about, oh, we don't hate men, or when we say this? Yes, yes, we do. These men will marry, have kids, daughters, and hate women all day long. So it doesn't matter if we hate the men. It's not about us hating the men. It's about the degeneracy that they're doing. And by the way, if we're not at the part where we hate men, what else do they have to do? I just really need to know what else is there left for them to do for us to get to the part where we hate all these dudes as a collective. I know there's an individual thing. We all have our men that we love on an individual level. Listen, I love my daddy. He's the heart of my heart. Even that nigga I'm side eyeing, and he taught me to do that. But at this point, like, we don't even have to do the sidebars about we don't hate or that. Who cares? Like, these dudes out here doing it with monitor lizards and apple pies. I would never ever play respectability politics with that demographic. That's all I wanted to say. I represent the women who are not ashamed of hating all men. I don't like them. I don't look for solutions with, for, or by men. It's all men for me. I just had to be say that because I don't want to be grouped into the ones who don't hate men. Thank you. Ayo.
All right, all right.
No, hold on, supervillain. Don't forget about your dream husband. You want to tell him?
My gosh, Trey, you know Tika out me every time. Okay, I got one caveat, Trey. I will my retirement plan is my AARP Emperor. He got to be 5 years or less to the grave, ED, and a touch of memory loss. Outside of that, everybody, all the rest of them, I can't stand them. That's it. See, I know
I'm
you're
not.
gonna put me on the spot.
I'm
Can I
not about
add
to play with
something?
you. Yeah. I'll give you a minute, Juneteenth, because I wanted to. Beauty was somebody who I
Yeah,
mentioned
it's
her
real
comment in the chat, so I'm sure she wanted to respond.
No worries.
So,
It's real short. It's real short. And I just wanted to add on to what Super had to say. Girl, I don't hate men yet, but I could feel me getting closer. But y'all are pushing me to, not the women, but the men are pushing me that way. I will tell you, I love my daddy, but I know that nigga is a nigga when he leave the streets, when he in the streets. I know that man, when he travels to the DR, he could be doing some funky, freaky shit. Okay, so we're not delusional about our parents and our fathers. I'm not talking to you, Trick. I'm talking to the audience. We know, and I think if you're not honest about who your daddy is, who your brother is, who your uncles are, you are delusional because the same ninjas that I'm talking about, they related to y'all. I yield.
all right, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go up here to Beauty. Go ahead, Beauty. Let me start your timer. Go ahead, Beauty.
I'm like trying to figure out exactly. I've seen this girl show up before, but I don't really know exactly what happened. So that's why I was asking, like, is this like a not in support of the black family? And then I wanted, from listening to some of the stuff that everybody was saying, I like, how do we get to how do we fix this? It's a genuine question that I like, I mean, I have a son and a daughter. Do you think that it is like a missing of like the black family that, like, do you think it's a like single parent thing? What do you think? Do you think it's men? Like, how do we get to where it's not a constant thing that, like, our kids are now saying the same stuff that we're saying? How do we fix this?
Okay, so I've had like women say that to me before, and I don't believe that there is anything that women can do per se to stop it because they're the actions of men. Now, somebody in the comments mentioned single mothers, but I really wish that people would realize that, like, blaming single mothers for how a black man turns out and the decisions that he chooses to make is rooted in misogyny, because when a black girl doesn't have a father, or he's not around, or he's gone, and she makes a bad decision, she has a child out of wedlock, or she does this and that and the third or whatever, nobody gives her that caveat of that the father is not around. what they do in the black community, in my opinion, what is done in the black community is always the blame for everything, regardless of the outcome. Well, no, let me say that if the outcome is negative, then it goes on to the black woman. The best thing that I feel like black women could do to fix any of this is to stop coddling black men and allow them to stew in the decisions that they have made and have them take full accountability for it. Because the majority of single mothers are not telling black men to grow up and become degenerates. They're telling them to go to school, son. Go to college, come home, don't do this, don't do that. It's the fact that those men are choosing not to listen because a lot of times black men respect the words of their peers, other males, other than the women in their own households, their grandmas, their sisters, their aunts, and all of that. So I don't believe that there's anything that black women can do per se other than to, one, stop coddling black men. And number two, stop lowering your standards for piss poor black men and allow those black men to fade out of existence. Because the reason why I decided to do this live is because Dana Dane, as I said earlier, the woman that's in this picture. Now, I disagree with a lot of her content. Now, I will say that she's made some points a couple times that I've agreed with, but I disagree with 90% of, just her persona and the way that she is, because I do believe that she's very male-centered and a pick-me. Any woman that can hold space with a man that has said things that are PDF file coded, you can't be trusted as a woman, in my opinion. But I will say this is that for her, I thought that she did have high standards for men. She talks about not being a baby mama and not allowing men to treat her any type of way and all of this. And yet she's in a live space with a man that's saying that he wouldn't entertain women that are abstinent or not having intercourse, which is problematic because that means that that man is only interested in intercourse with these women and that's it. And that's the reason why that's why he's focused on it. So I think that women and black women have got to stop entertaining, sharing spaces with men that are subpar, men that only seek to use them, and stop looking at a man because I don't think this man is attractive, but a lot of women said that they do in this man's comments. Stop letting a man treat you any type of way because you find him to be attractive or desirable in some way. Those are the only things that I feel like black women can do on their own behalf to help the black community somewhat. But all of the other stuff, the criminality, the lack of education, the disrespect of the community, all of that, those are things that rest strictly on black men's shoulders. Those are not things that we can do. Now, of course, you as a mother, you can try to instill, value of a good value system in your son. But at the end of the day, a lot of times young black men, their main influences come from things outside of the home. Right now, you have black men that are red pillars that spread foolish thoughts. I've seen several videos of black men in Ubers, driving Ubers, telling black women that they don't even know so many red pill talking points. So you can tell that they're being infected by things online. So I'm not quite for sure, but I do know that the state of the black community, the only thing we can do is basically essentially is to stop coddling black men and making them feel comfortable and blaming us for their failures because it's not our fault. It's their fault. A black man goes out there and unalives other black men. Black men are out there scared of getting robbed and assaulted by other black men. That's not our fault. That's their fault, you know?
I was actually
So
recently in a live, and it was interesting. We were unable to get the black man to say, like, y'all are afraid of each other. It was very, very interesting how they were saying, like, these are the things, like, instead of you checking a woman, why aren't you? It was, they were given the example of, if this man is a bad person, why would you? He's like, oh, if I tell my homeboy something, it doesn't matter because it's not going to change anything. So you would just say something to the woman, you completely disregard that is your friend. Why aren't you checking him on his behavior? You want to just say blame something on the woman. So I completely agree that, the accountability on both ends, like as women, we need to do for our part with the men. But I'm like, I don't, I mean, my son's 19. I think he might be an anomaly in all of this because he's not like that, but I was a single mom, but also had a family, supported a wonderful community. My family is humongous to help with everything. But I don't like to hear the trajectory, when you think about that of the black family. I wish we could get back to those things that, the core of how successful we were together. I wish there was a way that we could get back to that. And, if we could try to promote and see how do we get to the resolution, the solutions to figure those out versus, just continuously on the problems, like where are the solutions and that. So I just really wanted to know everyone's opinion on where do we get with solutions.
let me ask
So
you
I
a question,
appreciate
Beauty.
that.
Beauty, let me ask you a question. Do you think that black men are like are supposed to be the leaders of the black community?
Um, no, no, not necessarily. So I
Do
think
you
that
believe
they
in
are.
like then do you believe in like elders and stuff like that? Like leading the younger people to show them the way to go?
I think elders can give you, experience that, no matter what. I think that anybody, even as myself at 38, I can talk to somebody that's oops, I don't want that to go on, 16 or 17 and tell them, I was a single mother. I had my child at 18. You can give experience, to help. All you can do is share to help prevent. That doesn't mean they're going to listen. That's how I see it. At least at least you try to do your part.
What do we do about the men who are? I'm
Just
sorry.
one second. I wanted to say that when you look at like the reason why I use elders is because you look at elders like because I would consider a man that's like approaching 60 to be more going into the elder lane, as moving out of the unk lane to the elder lane, like somebody like
Hmm.
Shannon Sharp. And you got Diddy in his 50s and many other black men that and I won't even use Diddy because Diddy is like in prison right now. So we'll use a black man that's still outside. Somebody like Shannon Sharp that allowed himself to be taken advantage of by somebody that was allegedly 18 when he started talking to them as an almost 60-year-old man to give up like his entire fortune to them. And I
Hmm.
would say that there can be no solutions and no resolution in a community where the men that are the elders and the older ones are just as unknowledgeable and immature as the youth. Like that's why I really feel like there it will be no solution until black men fix it, because I know we talk a lot about black women and what black women do, but black women are doing great with the hand that they were dealt. Black women are
Hmm.
doing great that are single mothers. They're having their children. They're raising their children. They're feeding their children. They're clothing their children. They're housing their children. You have black women that are the most educated group in America. Black women work the most statistically. Black women are the least incarcerated. The white women's incarceration rates are higher than black women's. Black women are one of the fastest growing groups of homeowners, the fastest growing groups of pew pew owners, and one of the largest demographics of entrepreneurs. Black women are
Hmm.
doing what they need to do. But once again, the reason why black women are doing what they need to do is there are no excuses made for black women. Nobody coddles a black woman. Nobody cares what happened to you. Nobody cares what your daddy did, whether your daddy was there or not. Nobody cares if you were molested at a young age. Nobody cares at all what happens to the black woman. All they care about is what you can put out. What is your life like? What job do you have? Where are you living? What's your circumstances? There is no grace given to black women at all. And that is the reason why black women are able to succeed and get somewhere. And that's the reason why black men fail on all those avenues that I mentioned, because there's always a woman saying, hey, not you, no disrespect. I'm just saying, well, what can we do? We've got to work together. What can we do to help them out? There aren't really that many black men that are out there saying the same for black women. Hey, what can we do? I can say this. Whenever I talk about black femicide or I talk about ex trafficking of black women and black girls, I will tell you, I have maybe saw a black man talk about it and he did it on my platform one time. Do I see any lies where black men talk about how they can help and assist the things that happen to black women? No. And
No, I'll definitely agree with you on that.
yeah.
When I've said on this app, I'm sorry to interrupt you. When I
Oh
said
no,
on
go
this
ahead.
app and I hear all the different things, it's always about they want to complain about wigs, weaves, and lashes, or they want to complain that a woman did the 50-50, or it's always let's bash women. I will completely agree that this app has allowed me to be able to see how much men really do complain about, and specifically black men, not that I'm dissing white women or men, whatever, but how much they complain about black women. I think that it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. I think it's sad that is, instead of looking in the mirror, you rather just push the blame on someone else. Um, but I get also, you're basically saying like, black women, we've had to put our bootstraps on and figure this shit out. So they need to do the same.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. And I really don't believe that anything, if we do want even a minor resolution, because there are a lot of people that feel like the black community will completely be eradicated. I don't believe that. I believe that there will always be a small percentage of black men that are that are mentally well and healthy and healed that will find women that reciprocate that. But as far as a whole, no, I believe we are in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But there'll always be some like-minded black people that find each other. I know a few in my real life, my real life. But
Hmm.
do I think that it's going to be the collective of us? No, I don't. So that, but like I said, the only way that we can assist in that is to just to tell them, hey, just like we figured it out, just like your grandma figured it out and your mother did, you have to do the same as well, you know. But I'm gonna go down here real quick to Chef, because this isn't gonna be long, so I'll be right there for Coach T. Go ahead, Chef. You wanted to come up and say
First, did
what?
you put your teeth in, Chef?
Nah, did your mom put your teeth in? I'll take my dick out her
Oh,
mouth.
okay, go ahead. That's it. I knew he was about to be gone. Let me go ahead and get rid of you, Chef. You didn't even last 2 seconds, sir. Have a great day.
Look at there, a mini man.
Is he toothless, y'all?
Yes, he is toothless. He was on Jazzy Live. He was coming up in here talking hella shit, and we couldn't understand him. He was sitting there going, that's the problem with your black boy, blah." And we was like, sir, put your teeth in, or fix your dentures. What is going on up in here? How you a chef and you ain't got no teeth? Like, that shit is crazy.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I'm trying to be professional right now at this point, and y'all about to make me lose it. All right, Coach T, go ahead.
Go ahead and drop. Thank you for allowing me up and to ask my question. I'm gonna continue to listen. I just been
Oh,
going back to work, but thank you
oh,
so much. This
oh,
is
no
this is a
problem,
great
beauty.
live. So
Oh,
y'all
no
have a
problem,
good
beauty.
one.
You too. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. And contrary to popular belief, you guys can disagree with me. I really don't. I don't want every black woman to agree with everything that I say. It's just that sometimes, like the other lady that was up here, Drip, when you do things the way she was doing, it's just like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But I appreciate you, beauty. Let me go up here to Coach T. Go ahead, Coach T.
Yeah, Trigger. I just wanted to excuse me. I just get agitated when women do stuff like that, come into black women's spaces and ask us what the solutions are to the problems of the community, or to black men's problems. It's really just aggravating. So I'm gonna be honest, I really just stopped listening after a certain point when she was talking. And I just want black women to understand, or to be able to recognize, not just the men's rhetoric and talking points, but also the rhetoric of certain women whose their motives aren't always clear to begin with, but when you listen to them talk, you can hear exactly what they're saying. And I'm just saying that you just have to be careful who you decide to be in community with, and who you decide that you're going to come up with solutions with, because not everybody's motivations or intentions are the same. And I've noticed that a lot of women, especially black women, because we've been in this like narcissistic, personality disordered relationship with black men, is a lot of black women, when they get into spaces and relationships with other black women, friendships, whatever, family members, they will try to replay or reenact these same relationships and relationship dynamics, where they're going to try to subvert and abuse you through the same tactics that the man used on them, with the emotional gaslighting, the same thing that Drip came up and did, the emotional gaslighting, the, well, what are the solutions? Well, it just reminded me of, when you will get into it with a man over something he did, and you'll start laying out the pattern of his behavior. He'll say, oh, why you always got to bring up old stuff? Like, stay on topic, stay on task. And I just don't want women to be fooled, not just by women, not especially not by other black women. Don't just assume that because someone is black and a woman, that y'all automatically are aligned and that you can be in community with them. Because what will then happen is she'll take your ideas, she'll take your energy and take it over to the men, which is what she was talking about, where she was in a live. And there was a guy who wasn't willing to admit or take accountability for the fact that he's in community with harmful men. And then she's sitting up and having a conversation with him. That's dangerous. That's violent. That's abusive. Like you have like women, it's so much warfare against Black women. I just need Black women to really be aware and using their critical thinking and paying attention. Like pay attention to what's going on.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T. All right, I'm gonna go down here to Trouble. Go ahead, Trouble. Let me start your timer for you. Go ahead, sir. You there? Let me turn your request to turn your mic on. You there?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm afraid, and I say that genuinely because I hear spectrums from both sides, and trust and believe, I want everybody to understand on this panel. I've done the shadow work on myself. I understand that I had traumas that was trickled down to me and everything like that. So I'm not coming up here to bash nobody. That's not what I'm doing. My name is Trouble Soul for a reason. There's a definition behind it. I'm not gonna get into it. But the reason why I'm saying I'm afraid is because at the end of the day, we need each other. Point blank, period. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what men think. We need each other because I'm not going to go too deep into it, but we only got 5 years.
If you're scared, go to church.
Okay, that's fine. We only got 5 years until these people decide to do what they're going to do. I'm not going to go into what these people got planned because I've done research. I've been reading. I've been noticing stuff since about 95, 96. I'm 37. I've been reading, magazines and stuff like that from way back when. A lot of this stuff is distractions to both sides. So whether if you want to believe it, whether the people on this panel want to believe it, we need each other. And the fact that this is how we talk about each other, this is what we do, we're not going to survive. Period, point blank. Everybody can have everybody can have
Let him finish, you guys.
everybody can have the accomplishments, the achievements, the pew pew license. That's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more minute, Trouble. All right, that way you can
Please
finish your
don't.
thought.
Please don't.
I'm gonna let him because I have a reason for doing it. Go ahead, go ahead.
Nah, it's all right. Cause obviously I'm getting under people's skin, so I'm gonna shut it down.
Okay, all right. Let me just say this, Trouble. I think the problem is that once again, the things that you said is very tone deaf. I don't know how long you've been in here. You just said that we need each other. We just sat there and talked about the things that Black women are experiencing at the hands of Black men. Now, as opposed to addressing any of those very real concerns, you chose to ignore all of those things and to fearmonger about what's going on with the administration and all of that, as opposed to talking about the very real, actual fear or the thing that would actually take a woman out before this 5 years is up would be a Black man statistically. So I don't understand what you mean when you say it's harmful the way we talk about each other. Now, I can't speak for none of the other ladies on the panel, okay, and the things that they say. But I can tell you that the only things that I said were things that are actual and factual. So my thing is that I really feel like Black men like yourself have got to, instead of getting, like, for lack of a better word, butthurt about somebody exposing what really is going on in the dynamics between Black men and Black women and the things that Black women are experiencing, getting upset about it, internalizing that, and getting hurt about it, as opposed to focusing on the very real truth. And this is exactly what I'm saying, what I said earlier. Black men will never be able to improve or do better until you acknowledge that there is a problem. Because if anytime someone tells you a problem, you start saying, I can't believe the way we talk about each other. And as opposed to talking about the fact that the things that we said is true, I don't know what to say. It doesn't make any sense to me how you can say that and not actually acknowledge the things that the women are saying are true, though. Like, you can be upset about it. You can say it hurts your feelings. You can say, wow, it makes Black men look bad. But to not get up here and first say that you know that these things are happening when all you can do is take your phone. Everyone has a very expensive piece of machinery in their hand right now that will give you all the information that you need to know. That you cannot say that, hey, this is true. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Can you tell me why you do things like that? or why a lot of men like yourself do things like that. Because you can't say that you need me and you can't even acknowledge what's going on with me. Why would I need somebody that can't even acknowledge what I'm saying to be correct? You can go ahead, sir. I would love to. I would love for you to answer that question for me. You there, Trouble?
Absolutely. And because I can't, because I'm someone who's already long winded, I was actually going to get into that because again, I've I've seen what y'all go through. I got women in my family. I know about the abuse that black men commit. I've actually myself in my own experience have had to deal with men who've abused my sister. I've almost unalived 4 men for putting their hands on my sister. I have no reason to be hurt by nothing none of y'all are saying. If
Yeah, I didn't mute you. He muted himself. Yeah, I just before you, since you did get muted, let me ask you a question. I understand what you're saying, and I'm sorry for your sister as well. But why didn't you mention that first? If you understand that, then why did you start off with black men and black women need each other and all of that stuff? Why didn't you acknowledge what black women go through first? I think it would go a long way if you would do that and lead with empathy first than trying to center yourself and center black women needing black men. You get what I'm saying?
I can see how it looks like that from your lens, but that's not what I was
It will
doing.
look like that from any woman's lens, Trouble. Any
That's
black woman
fine.
that hears you, no, it's not
That's
fine. It's not
no.
fine. Because this is what I'm saying. If you want, if you, I'm not, I'm going to take you at face value. I know the other women will not, but I will take you at face value that you mean what you say. If you mean what you say and you want to have some type of repair with black women and black men, at least the black women that you come across, the first
Mhm.
thing you would want to do is do that moving forward. That should be the first thing that comes out of your mouth, especially coming in a black woman's space, is to acknowledge it and not say things like you said because it comes off as tone deaf and that you have a lack of empathy for what black women are experiencing.
I'll take that. I'll take
Okay.
that. I have no problem with that. I'll take that. And I appreciate you even bringing that, bringing that to me because, you know, not to bring, not to bring no women down in my family, but that's not what I was taught, to actually just target that specific area where it would be relatable instead of just, coming out and just saying it, so I'll take that,
All right.
so
We have to teach y'all so much and y'all have so much to learn. Like this is exhausting. Like this level of emotional labor to have to do this with somebody day to day or person to person at a certain level, it's a lot. So then if women are having to come into an interaction, a relationship, a community, whatever environment and say to a man, hey, you should consider how I feel or consider my point of view on this topic and then break down why you should consider my point of view, what my point of view actually is, and break it down into a digestible format for you and still have to stay calm and not get emotional about it and not get upset. Why should we have to be in community or relationship with y'all? Why should we have to do like it just doesn't make any sense. It
Uh
doesn't make any sense.
Coach T, I totally understand where you're coming from. I just, you know me, I normally would have said something different, but I think for anybody that may possibly listen to the live, and I understand what you're saying about it being exhausting, and I can understand that a lot of black women have tuned out and don't want to do none of that, and I would never say that y'all are not entitled to that. I was just saying because there are always going to be black women that, want to be in company with black men or they want to be in like male spaces. And there are black men that may not be, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, y'all. It may be black men that are maybe working from a wrong state of mind, but may possibly be able to be helped if you might need to give them a slight nudge in that direction. And I understand that there are a lot of black women that don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not a problem. That's not a problem. I'm just
No,
saying
because
that.
he's gonna take the information and use it to be abusive to other women because that's what they do.
Well, okay. Well, like I said, I don't know. My heart is in the right place. I just thought that, he might want to think about moving in the future if he does want to talk to black women. And that just goes with all of the other black men that come along. Like just starting off like that is just because they seem always so perplexed why black women have this almost visceral, angry response. And it's because the first thing that comes out of your mouth is to dismiss. And not only to dismiss, but to dismiss and center yourself. Exactly how do you feel like a group of women that is historically ignored and unheard are going to respond to you then coming into their space and doing the same thing? Of course, the women are going to start going crazy. They're going to start going to H because it's like, my God, like now here I am in this space for us and y'all are doing the same thing. And I think that's, like somebody in the comments right here, somebody OG Big Baby says, just be a lesbian if you hate men. And it's a woman. Like, you see what I'm saying? There are so many, we as black women have to fight against trying to explain to men that, but then you also have to explain to delusional women that don't get left with anything but a wet behind from other men why that's not the way that they should be and why they shouldn't be looking for love, in the shape of a dick in their mouth. Respectfully, OG baby, you got to do better. Truthfully, honestly. And I could say a lot more to you, but I really will spare you only because you're a black woman, but you got to do better. But let me go over here to T Scorpio. Go ahead, T.
I'm gonna let supervillain go. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, go ahead, supervillain.
Thanks, T. I just had the one question, so I'll play devil's advocate and say, ooh, I can't even get out my mouth. Black men and black women come together. What do you propose will be different from, I don't know, when we got on the shores of the Americas, 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights, Black Panther Party, even now, what's going to be the difference? Because we've been coming together, and again, the results have yielded the same. Every 4 to 5 unemployed black men business hours, one of y'all are knocking off a black woman or black child's head off. What will be the difference when we come together this time? That the past 400 to 500 years will be different. I'm just really curious. Y'all keep saying come together, like we haven't been together the last 500 years. What is going to be the difference this time? I am really curious.
Hold on, supervillain. I just wanted to say something to did I let him answer your question? What's her name? What's your name? OG Big Baby in the comments that just said that like we should just become lesbians or whatever. Listen, OG Big Baby, I already knew that you were pick me by what you said, but it's clear that you don't love yourself with this doggone deep filter that you have on your face that makes you almost unrecognizable. I don't know if it's the Facetune app that's turned up to the highest degree or setting, but this is what I'm saying. Like, sister, you have got to love yourself and not love yourself based on what men perceive you to be, because that's the only way that you're thinking. Because look at this picture that you have up of yourself. Please do better, honestly. Like, if you don't do anything today, take that goofy picture off, take that goofy filter off, and love yourself. Please, please, for the love of God, do that for me, because you are better than what a man thinks about you. The person that should think the highest of you is you. And I know that you don't think that, because if you did, you wouldn't have your face tune filter turned up to goddess level, like level 100,000 trillion. And that's all I'm gonna tell you. Like I said, you told me to come at you and really go at you, but I won't. I'll just tell you that it's very clear that you don't love yourself. I used to post pictures of myself all the time, ma'am. But once I started getting death threats, I stopped. So, OG, once again, you got to love yourself. You honestly, truly do. Because there's no way on God's green earth you love yourself that you feel like a cartoon version of yourself is better than your real face. All right? So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and block you and send you on your way. You have a great day. All right. So, Trouble, if you want to go ahead and respond to Supervillain. You can, because she wanted. I think you heard her.
So, with that is first and foremost, us as men have to, a lot of us have to take the time and really get rid of our own traumas and things of that nature. Because honestly, we can't do nothing together until the men do the shadow work. Because it's a lot of men out here that they need to do it and they haven't. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to understand y'all and understand what y'all been through, because like I and as a matter, and I'll go into it again. The majority of my family are women on both sides. Now, just like the sister said, that's how I should have started it. Now, I do get long winded, and I would have got there at some point, but I already started to get hit up. I already started to get shot at, so it was cool. So you know what I mean. When it really boils down to it, it's really up to us, because a lot of us are screwed up out here. That's why that men are such a big threat to y'all, because in real time a lot of us don't want to sit with ourselves and look at ourselves and be like, hey, yo, you know what, you know I got this from my mother, I got this from my daddy, and I'm not acknowledging that. I'm not acknowledging that a lot of the trauma that I have was trickled down from my parents because of whatever they went through, and they didn't fix themselves. You get what I'm saying? So
Trig, hold on, Trouble. Trig, I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to reiterate real quick. He just said he acknowledged the past years, centuries really, that we have been together, but that the men need to do the shadow work. He just acknowledged that the men are troubled. So why would we come together right now if you said they did not do the shadow work and they are currently troubled? Do you see the gaslighting I'm talking about, ladies? That makes no sense. If you just said the first step is for y'all to do the shadow work, why in the hell would we come with y'all together? That is simply doing the same thing for another couple centuries of years.
because there
Y'all
has to
won't do
be
the shadow
empathy
work.
on your side too. It has to
There
be
has
empathy.
been empathy. You know what empathy led? Again, to our statistics being every 4 to 5 unemployed black men business hours, our heads getting knocked off our bodies. Y'all need to go off and do whatever shadow work, hoodoo, voodoo, imaginary playhouse, Disney World, whatever shit you're talking about. Y'all need to go off and do that and leave black women and children alone.
Well, my
Because you keep
sister,
saying
go ahead.
come together, and you want us to come together with men that you just admitted are unhealed and need to do the work. Does that make sense to you? Is that safe for, even if you didn't give a shit about black women, is that safe for black
Nah, that
children?
that would never come out my mouth.
Okay, but sir, even
I love
if
black
you
women.
didn't, would that be safe for black children to be in community with men who need to do shadow work? Let's do the math. Let's just simply do the math. Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't on one side of the spectrum, but at the same time, it
No,
does, because we have.
no, trouble. That's it. I'm done. I'm done
I
listening.
yield.
It doesn't.
I'm done.
Thanks, supervillain. I'm done listening. It doesn't make sense at all. And that's my thing, is that there are a lot of black men that will come at you from, because I realize now, just hearing you talk, that you're really not listening to nothing that nobody say here. You're just actually listening to try to find some type of way to get black women to be cool with being a mammy, and I'm not cool with that. Like, period. It just doesn't make any sense. Just supervillain made a fantastic point. If you want to do all of that, go do all of that. Then come back around when you right in the head. What in the world do I look like being around you while you're not right in the head? So you can take me up and through it, age me, have me looking crazy, have me out here eating fried bologna sandwiches while you broke and busted and disgusted, and I'm struggling trying to help keep you together because your mind is not right. That doesn't make any sense. The times for black women to be the sacrificers is over with. The time for black women to be somewhere working 3 jobs and coming home and doing the housekeeping and the cleaning and getting knocked between the head and the washer and the dryer and all of that is done. It's done. You don't come to no black woman unless you are healed and you are on point and you are ready to give her everything that she needs and desires and more. If you cannot do that, then get lost and get gone. And if people say, well, what happened to the black community? Well, what happened to the black community is the black men that are not healed, their bloodlines will die off. And the black community will be better. And you will have what you want, which is the black community in a healthy state. The black men that are not right in the mind don't need to be procreated with, need to be left alone and left to the wayside. And the ones that are right will be right, and they'll be able to, their bloodlines will be able to continue. But it like me sitting here and let you talk about encouraging black women to be mammies and be some type of man's peace when are the men giving the women peace? Men are out here talking about they want to take women out for coffee dates and shaming them if they don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Shaming women that anyway. Yeah, that conversation is dead. You have a great day, Trouble. Cause now you starting to get on my nerves. I was trying to be professional, but it's like I can't do it no longer. Go ahead, T Scorpio. Go ahead.
That. Why'd you took my food away? Why would you do something like that?
No,
I
I'm
was
sorry. I'm sorry.
no, you good. You got I'm joking with you. But you see, ladies, every time we have this type of discussion, there's always a man coming up here to prove our point. And now this is where y'all take the responsibility and the intelligence to listen, analyze, observe, and don't play a part in it. This is what we mean every single time. This man skipped past the high rate of femicide. He skipped the fact that we was telling black women to choose better by using our critical thinking and intelligence and continue to choose themselves and choosing yourself will always be the better option. But you see how
Hey,
these men,
T. I'm sorry. I didn't want to forget this. You know what he also did? He said that he had to fight 4 black men that beat on his sister. So that let you know that he is in. There are so many black men putting their hands on black women that he had to put his hands on four, four of them. And then he wants black women to ignore those very real stats, like I said earlier about the violence of black men against black women, and ignore those to be somebody mammy and savior. What? That's crazy. But go ahead, T.
I was definitely going to point that out that he said that he had to handle 4 men for his sister supposedly, which I say supposedly on purpose because we know these men love to use like I love black women. I have a family full of women. I had went through the fire for the women. I love black women. Ladies, don't fall for that. He don't love you when he ignore your plight. He doesn't love you if he's ignoring the fact that he's telling you to run into danger. A person that love you will say, this is the fire. Don't touch it. Don't touch it like how your mama used to do. Don't touch this fire because you're going to hurt yourself. Not him bringing the fire to you or encouraging you to go to the fire. Absolutely not, ladies. And it's funny how me and Trigger are married, and it's probably other women here that are married too on this platform. Where do you hear our husbands? Nowhere. Because why? They're letting the women talk to other women. Men who run up here, they assume that it's a panel full of single women, a chat room full of single women, and this is their chance to shoot their shot as like a snake in the grass, looking at us saying, now this is my chance to prove that I'm a safe man so I can get some booty. Now, a desperate pick-me woman will go up in his inbox right now. Yes, black man, I understand you. See, those women are just heartbroken. They just miserable. They don't understand that we got to stick together. You see? It's going to be a pick-me in his inbox. He's going to get exactly the woman that he wants soon enough. But I'm telling y'all, for the women who don't want to mule for him, you heard he say he did the shadow work. Who knows what that shadow work for? He probably got a felon. He probably he probably have ill temper. He probably got 3 baby mamas. We don't know what his shadow work was. Now, let's just say if he supposedly did the shadow work, why isn't he teaching this to men? Ask yourself that. A man that got all the answers in the world is not in a room full of men teaching other men not to be a danger. Now, he could have been listening from the sidelines, observing everything that we're saying, and then go to the men and say, look what y'all doing to the women. Y'all threat to them. Y'all need to do better. Now, I did the shadow work as an example. Now, what I'm going to do is teach y'all how to do the shadow work and work on yourselves, because eventually we're going to need our women with us. And let's just say it's not for the women. We have to protect them. We have to love them. We have to show them that there's men out here that still exist. But what did he decide to do? Bring his raggedy, dusty ass on the panel and talk to us and try to convince us to keep our guards down. That is not a safe man, ladies.
All right. I appreciate you, T. All right. Who was? I think who was next was Juneteenth. then Mrs. Mack, and then Miss Scott. Go ahead, Juneteenth.
Thank you. I'm gonna be real short because I'm still stuck on what that lady said about beautiful. She mentioned something about what's the solution? How do you ask the victim how to stop being a victim? Like why are we doing that? Why are we asking the victims for the solutions? Why aren't you asking out of the men? And I think when you start asking that question, it always goes into the what was she wearing or how did she become a single black mother? And that turns into choose better. We got to stop that. And I don't want to say you were being disingenuous, but I think a lot more thought should have gone into that thought process before you came up here and said that. That's it.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Juneteenth. Also, I wanted to say, like what the guy that was up here Trouble said about black women having empathy. Black women are very empathetic. That's the reason why black women are in the trouble that they're in right now. Black women are empathetic to everybody, any and everybody's plight. They want to fight for everybody, but then when something happens to us, those same people that we are willing to fight tooth and nail for are nowhere to be found. And I really do think that black women have got to stop that. That's the reason why you got all these people that talk about if you lost or you in trouble, find a black woman, but those same people wouldn't spit on us if we were on fire. I really do think that we as black women have got to stop that and only tune our empathy in towards each other. I think that would be the better off situation that we would be. But trying to fight for everybody while nobody fights for us, to me, is a wild thing to do. It really is. And I'm just wholeheartedly against it. And people were saying that I'm trying to ruin the black community and this, that, and the third. I just want, like, I can't, like I said, this is just my thought. I cannot speak for everybody else, right? I really can't. And this is probably controversial what I'm about to say. I first started making, I said this before, I first started a long time ago. I first started making pro-black content. That's what I first made. But I realized very quickly that black men did not care about the plight of black women at all. So when I would talk about things that affect the black community or black men or police brutality, black men would be everywhere loving on me and stuff like that. But if I would talk about black femicide, black men would tell me to shut up and this, that, and third. I'm making black men look bad, da, 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 da. They would give me death threats. Like I said, for people to say that I don't show my face, anybody that feels like that I know personally, I have YouTube videos where I show my face. I will send you a link. I have no fear of showing my face. I really don't. But I will say that once I started speaking out, it would be men that would be in my emails, in my DMs, everywhere, saying that they would grate me, they would unalive me, they would unalive my husband and have him watch. They say all type of crazy things to me. Now, once again, I am in a state that is very lax with their pew pew laws. I have plenty, no problem at all. I even have a assault rifle. I have no problem. I'm not concerned about it, but it was a lot on my mind, all of these threats and stuff that was going on. So I saw all of that and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to stop making this content. I'm only going to focus on black women because that's clearly who needs the most. Because anytime a black woman would speak up about anything, men would try to dox her, threaten her, shut her up. And so nobody was speaking out about black woman issues. So that's the reason why I got to this point. So I want people to know that I'm wholeheartedly on the side of black women and black girls. But I will say that in my heart of hearts, I love black people. I love black men. I love black women in to a point. Like, I think that we are special people. Do I love the collective of black men? No. But do I recognize that we as black people, that we are special? Yes. Because without black men, there cannot be black women. There cannot be fully black, monoracial black women who I myself put on a pedestal. That we cannot exist. So with that being said, in my heart of hearts, I really hope that one day more black men than not can get it together. Do I believe that that's going to happen? No. If I have to be completely transparent to you guys, no, I don't. No, I don't believe it's going to happen collectively. Do I believe, like I said earlier, that a small percentage of like-minded black men and black women will find each other? Yes. But do I believe it's a very small percentage? Absolutely. So I just want to say that sometimes I say things to hope that possibly if there is some type of intelligent black man listening, that he will take the things that I say and actually apply it to his real life, will that happen? I don't know. And I know that I cannot speak for everybody on here. I know a lot of black women have, completely, lost faith in black men or even in men in general, which I completely understand. Because it's not like I trust men or I really like men. I'm just saying I look at it from the lens of I love black women, and in order for black women to exist, there has to be some space for black men also to exist because there's not one without the other, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. But I like I said, that's the only reason why sometimes I allow black men to even express themselves at all on any level. Even though every time I allow them to express themselves, if I could just say what I feel, 98% of the time I'm disappointed. And it just further proves my point that I'm on the right side of things and just focusing all my energy into black women and black girls or even children. Like, it's not like I hate black boys, little black boys or anything, but my main focus is black women and black girls, and it always will be. Not even my main focus, my only focus. So, and I do agree with what T Scorpio said in the chat. She said, healthy minded men won't come in here to distract us. And I actually believe that too. I do, because my husband would never find himself on a panel. I mean, sometimes he might come if I'm in a panel, like my panel, but I do believe that he would never go to no other panel with nowhere and try to talk to the women there. He would feel like that's not his place. So I do understand what y'all are saying.
Exactly. Mine's neither. My husband straight up sit there and say all the time that he said he want his daughter to be like me. He said quiet as kept. I actually want my daughter to be just like you. You don't take no shit. You demand respect. Shit. He said, remember, we all know the history with me and my husband. He viewed me as the prize. So with that being said, he don't want no less from his daughter, from the mindset that I have. So you do have healthy minded men that do agree with what we're saying and acknowledge the truth and say that yes, women should guard themselves, women should be cautious, and any man that does not respect the fact that you want to protect yourself is not the man for you. Straight up and down. He will prioritize your safety and want you to feel safe with him. And not only that, he will earn it. I'm going to say that again. He will earn your trust. That's all.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you. So, and I just want any of the black women I'm really wholeheartedly on y'all side. I understand y'all perspectives. I share the same thoughts and all of that. I just wanted to give y'all clarity about, I guess kind of like my heart of hearts, like what I really think. Because, it's very upsetting for people to always act, well, I don't know. I don't believe in absolutes on anything, but I do believe that the black community is in grave, it's in trouble. And I don't see it being fixed no time soon. And I don't believe that I should be demonized because I believe that the collective of black men right now aren't doing what they need to do. I don't see how that's me hating everybody and all of this stuff. It just sometimes it just gets to be a drag. And it's not even at the men that say it, but it's the drag when the women come in and try to make it seem like I'm their enemy by saying that you should be careful around black men and realize what's going on. Like, I don't know. It's just upsetting to me. Like, it really is. But let me just keep going, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me go to Mrs. Mack and then Miss Scott.
Hey Trigger, hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey.
It was a lot said. And I always enjoy your lives. I know one thing that stuck out to me when someone was up here and she said, "Where do we go, or how do we get back to where we used to be?" We were never nowhere. That's the thing. Y'all, we hear men all the time saying they want to go back to the 40s and 50s. For what? To subjugate women again? We're not going. We're not going back there. We don't want to go back there, and that's the thing. And I understand how some people want to be optimistic about how things should go and how we should come together as a community. But the thing is, the community has always been the black women. I don't know if they understand that those are the ones who were, starting church events and community outreach and all of that stuff. Even before the Civil War, women were getting treated bad during. It's a book called Wedlock. It's about black people and how women were getting treated back then. So I don't understand where we're going to. Where in history have we been treated correctly? Nowhere. We always advocate for everyone, and they always turn around and hand their ass to kiss. And he said that we need each other. We need to come together. You know, you doing shadow work. Sir, you need to do shadow work with the men. That's what you need to do. We don't need your help with shadow work. It's a lot of women that do shadow work. They doing shadow work away from y'all ass. And that's what you don't understand. And you try to do that little fear-mongering shit about to myself in 5 years, we gonna need this. Sir, we done read all the stuff. Y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all not paying attention to nothing that's going on in this world. And that's the crazy part. That you want to come up in here and give us NBC News like we don't pay attention. We do. We looking, we're paying attention. We're planning. That's why the 90% of women, 92% of women are doing what they're supposed to do. And it's protecting women and children. And if any man has a problem with that, you are the problem. And again, like T. Scorpio stated, any healthy-minded man is not going to be saying, don't say that about black men. Go with your brethren at. Go get your brethren together. That's what you need to do. Go get your brethren together, have a kumbaya, and tell them to stop harming women and children. That's it. It's that easy. But y'all, the thing is, y'all want us to advocate for everything. We're tired. And I'm laying right there.
All right. I appreciate you, Miss Mac. Let me go down here to Miss Scott. Go ahead, Miss Scott.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I just wanted to come up here and say, Trigger, you supervillain, proud black woman. I swear I needed y'all back in the 90s. I did. I'm a woman of a certain age. I just turned 53 on Tuesday.
I'm
And
off before.
when I tell you, I needed y'all back then. I needed TikTok back then because ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world I would have dealt with the stuff that I dealt with back then, because growing up in the 90s, they acted like having a man was everything. Like they literally put value on having a man. Literally. And no, they're not needed. Women want to be with a man, but no, they're not needed at all. You know, nobody needs a headache constantly. You know, so I just want to thank y'all. That's the reason why I come to your thing. Listen, I break a nail damn near to when I see your notifications come up that you going live. I stop whatever I'm doing. I'm at work right now just so I can hear what you got going on, because it's very refreshing. And I take what I listen from you guys. Don't think that old women don't be listening to y'all. We be listening. And I'm learning. And that's what I take from y'all. I give it to my grandbaby, because she will not grow up to be like me and be married to somebody and be miserable. I'm all down for the rich aunties. If I had to, because I got 2 boys. So, and I ain't never put them on a pedestal. And child, because if I had to do it all over again, I'd be the rich auntie. At 45 times over, I would be the rich auntie. Because, yeah, this y'all's number one in my book. I love y'all. That's all I had to say. And T Scorpio, too. I like, she be putting it down, too. Yeah, you guys are just great. Thank you for having me.
Can I ask you a question? How old are you again?
I'm 53.
53 years old. So, and I love the fact that you even said that, you know, you listening to us and you say you gonna tell your grandbabies this. The men here swear up and down women in your age accepted this and love this, and
You
we're
know,
happy married. What do you have to say about that as a woman in her 50s?
child, let me tell you something. Don't believe that bullshit. When you hear a man say, when you constantly hear a man talking about they want their peace and they want women to shut up, and want women to bring them peace. No, they want you to accept their bullshit. They want you to accept the fact that they may have a family on the other side of town. We were with men because back then it was a thing. If you did not have, there were men in my own family that would tease tease us if we did not have boyfriends or if we wasn't married. I got married literally a year after I got graduated out of high school. Ain't no way in the world I should have did no shit like that. Okay? No, I shouldn't have. I never had a chance to live my life in the 90s. I was married throughout the whole 90s, and I literally hate the 90s to this day. Literally, I tell anybody that'll listen, the 90s was a bewitching decade. I hated the 90s. I literally hated the 90s because they made us feel, and if you did not have a boyfriend or if you did not have a man, they would tease you relentlessly. Relentlessly. So that's the reason why I'm telling you guys, keep doing what you're doing. Keep preaching what you preach. If you married, good. Ain't nothing wrong with you being married, telling these young girls something. Telling these young girls something that'll benefit them. There's nothing wrong with it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Because I'm telling you, I'm in it. Child, you can't make me feel bad about being single. Child, I'll tell them in a minute. Thank you. That's why nobody's checking for you. Thank you. I ain't never been so happy. And the way they giving out diseases, they passing it out like Halloween candy. Child, bye. You can't make me feel bad about being single. Not now. No. So y'all fine. Y'all fine.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Miss Scott. All right, let me go over here to Tanya D. Yeah.
Hi. I actually just had a question. I agree with everything that's being said. I'm in my mid 40s now and never been married, never had kids, never been pregnant. So I'm like literally one of these people who's out here and like a unicorn. And I always thought that something was wrong with me. But thankfully, I see that, there's a lot of us that we're encountering the same type of men who aren't willing to be committed to us and everything like that. So I won't get into that. But my question is this, and I'm very curious to see everyone's answer, is based on the state of how everything is going right now. Obviously, I think somebody had said that we're in trouble, right? What theories do you guys have as far as where do you see us? Like, let's say in the next 20 or 30 years, where do you see us as Black women and where do you see Black men?
I'll say for me, I see the Black community, the percentage of Black women and Black men that interact with each other going down like very I just see it going down because with men need female interaction. They really do. And they need it way more than women need male interaction. So the thing about it is that with each red pill, person that blows up and indoctrinates men, with which each ashy bandit that starts a podcast and lies to other men and tells them that they have all of these choices and a plethora of options, to choose from women and stuff like that, or passport bros or whatnot. All that does is further turn off women and push them away. So I think that it's going to be a lot less relationships, in my opinion, and it's not just happening in the Black community either. It's happening in the white tea communities. It's happening in the Asian community. It's happening in all of these where men are turning off women by the bajillions. And I think that that's going to cause a very real problem of men not only being lonely and angry that they don't have access to women, but I also think that it's going to create a firestorm of violence for women. So I do think that violence to women is going to skyrocket.
Okay.
That's what
I
I
have one. That's what you think. I have one other thing I wanted to kind of say to that is, which I totally agree with. Somebody had said 20 years, like it to be funny, but I think it's really, really interesting. You have to look at certain things like currently, like Black men that are in their 50s, they're passing away like crazy. We've had countless examples like DMX and Fat Man Scoop, like all these people, all these men, Black men that are passing away. So what I mean is, realistically, if you look at the next 20 years and you look at men who are in their 30s without Black women or without women at all, they're probably not going to be here. So I I don't want to look at it as, they need us, but in theory, it looks like they need us. That I think the proof is in the pudding that they need us more than we need them.
And I'll end with that.
Yes. And I definitely agree. And I just want to say one more thing, you guys. Because I was sitting here thinking about what I said earlier. And because everybody was silent, I just want y'all, hopefully y'all understood where I was coming from when I said about the black community and about loving black people, black men and black women, and realizing that we're special people. Hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. Of course, I know that this doesn't apply to the collective, but I do. Y'all let me know before I don't want to go down to a monologue, and hopefully y'all understood what I was saying. Y'all can let me know in the chat if y'all didn't know what I was saying, because the last thing that I would want y'all to think is like I'm on some undercover pick me weirdo stuff. I thought about it and I was like, I hope nobody took that from my words and only took that I how much I value black women and who we are as a people, because I believe that we in general are a special people, and I know that one of us does not exist without the other. So hopefully y'all understood what I was saying. Hopefully.
Yeah, I did. This listen, listen to me, Trigger. I think we all still deep down have that optimistic about how the world is going to turn out, right? Especially with our community. Even though we want to turn a blind eye to it, it's still like I still want to check on. You still want to check on them, right? No matter how bad you want to say, you know what, I'm a dry my hands with them, or you want to subtract yourself from them, but you still have that faith that thing is gonna you still want to check in with them, and you still have that faith that you want them to do what you I'm gonna speak for me. I still want to believe that things can change. Okay, I really do. I don't know how it's gonna change. But the indoctrination part of it, if that was removed and if men start seeing women and children, far as the humanity part of it, inhuman, I think it probably could. So I mean, I don't know, but that's how I think, to a certain extent.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I'm just like I said, I'm just happy that y'all understood where I was coming from, because I just because like when you're speaking, I'm just speaking off the top of my head, so I just want to make sure you guys understood, what I was saying. I'm so happy that y'all do. I'm gonna end this live soon. But just anybody, if any of you guys had anything to say, I know I have two people waiting in the queue. So if anybody wants to drop, so I can let them say their thing, and then I'll wrap it up here. And if anybody up here now, if you have anything to say before you drop, if you were gonna drop, please say whatever it is that you have to say, you guys.
I'm gonna drop as well. I just want to say thank you, Trigger, for hosting this live. It's been very productive. We got a lot of, as you can see, it's been a flood of women here that is open-minded and like-minded, and we're here and we're dedicated to making a change. We have young, we have older, we have women in the middle age that's all here collectively coming together to do this work. So thank you again, Trigger. Ladies, please don't forget to tap the screen. Don't forget to gift the host, because she's doing a lot of work, and this is a lot of mental stress. Trust and believe. Helping women is not for the weak. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Okay, baby. Helping black women is not for the weak. I'm just saying. But before I drop, I of course, I got to do my little jab in, for all the brothers that's here that want to go get your passport. First of all, I'm gonna help you out. Now, this is me doing a shadow work for the men. First of all, you gotta make sure all your child support is paid up, because we know a lot of y'all can't get your passports because you got child support up in the rears. First, get your passport from your birth certificate from under your mother's mattress. Because we all know y'all don't got your birth certificates. You got to ask your mother. That's number one. Number two, y'all can leave the live right now. I encourage passport bros. Go and catch a flight right now and ignore the hurricane. It's fake news. It's not real. There is no hurricane. You go and you catch your flight as soon as possible. Please do. Thank you, Trigger, again. Love you, ladies. Like I said, I love y'all. Love my black ladies here. Please have a fantastic day. Eat, have a nice iced coffee, whatever you do, touch grass. Please focus on your mental health. And I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all. Bye.
Alrighty. I appreciate you, T. I think it was next. The super villain, you have something to say, and then I'm gonna go to Spicy Pisces and then Jinro.
Yes, just a couple points real quick. Number one, I definitely understood what you were saying with the black woman, black men dynamic. I had mentioned in the chat, I said one of the hardest things I had to realize is that for the black woman that I loved so much, so very much to exist, it includes black men. I'm not an idiot. I know how science works. So that's a dichotomy in me. I am only human, right? I still hate these men, including all men. I'm not going to say especially black men, but they're included. But I do recognize that for us to have the beautiful black woman that I love so much, it does include black men. And that's the part that breaks my heart, and I can't change anything about it. So I definitely know where you're coming from, Trig. I did want to answer that lady's question as well. Oh gosh. Okay, the Pookie went back on mute. I'm sorry, he distracted me. Um, he really distracted me. So I'm gonna just say this to all the black women that I love so much. If you feel loved, if you feel that little tingle in your heart, that's me reaching out. I just want to tell everybody that every black woman I know, I may not have a great encounter with. It may not be peaches and cream all the time. That would never stop me from loving black women, because the smartest person I know, the nicest person I know, the most giving person I know, the most stable person I know, all these people are black women, and they're different black women. They're not even the same person. So I'm so blessed to be around so many beautiful black women, and it feels so good to not be the smartest person in the room. Thank you, Triggered, for curating this space. We know that it's hard work. I don't care what the pick-mes in here came and said earlier. You create a safe space. Now, they came and they were able to say their opinion. Now, we don't have to like it. Trigger can't control if the audience likes it or not. So if you were getting tomatoes, that's on you. But you definitely had the space to say your opinion. You can't control if people like it or not. Trig, again, thank you so much. Y'all, let's get her to the like she deserves. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
All right, thank you so much, super villain. Let me go to Spicy Pisces.
Greetings, Trigger. What's going on?
Hey.
So I've been listening, and I like what you're talking about. My version of the pick me word is mammies. There's a long history of Black women mammying for men in our community, other races of women. It's just really out of hand. I actually did a live on it where I asked women, like, what are your boundaries? Like, do you notice when you're mammying and putting on a cape for someone other than your children? So I think that's something that really needs to be addressed. Secondly, I don't think that women need to keep on internalizing the failures of Black men because society is telling them to do so. It is a man's job to correct another man. What I will say is we need to continue to focus on ourselves, our own careers, our mental health, our physical, emotional, spiritual health, and well being, as well as our children. And if you have Black male children, focus on them. Fuck these Negroes who are not in the right mind frame. You cannot raise a man. There's nothing you can do to offset any of this that's going on. I honestly think they're going to breed themselves out over the next 20 years. I don't think we'll be having this conversation. I think only the strong are going to survive in the next couple of years. But if you do have, Black male children, don't mammy them. Like, be a mother, but don't be a mammy where you're putting on a cape and excusing all negative behavior, letting them destroy your peace, your household, your nice things, because that kind of starts early too, where the moms are enabling the bad behavior. And I'm not going to put it all on the moms, but I'm just going to say, You know, sometimes we do that. But as far as these mammies out here, they are very dangerous. They will literally go against women who look like them to protect these men who they want to be in proximity of, who don't really want them. So honestly, when I'm online and I'm like in person, if there's a black man trying to come at me, it's usually a mammy who's ready to be used as a dog to get sicked on another black woman. So if you notice yourself inserting yourself in those spaces and being that person, you have to hang it up. And our parents and all of that, you know, they did the best that they could, but a lot of them have mammy mindsets as well. And we have to call the women out and show them a different way, that that's not how you have to be to exist in the world. We live in a different world now. The patriarchy still stands strong. However, we can cultivate safe spaces for ourselves. Like, we can opt out of being in relationship with these guys and having children with them. Like, I'm opting out at this point. I don't say that I've lost all hope, but I'm not giving my time to people who are not mentally where they need to be, because every 3.5 hours a black woman is unalived by a black man. And I'll leave that there. Thank you.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Spicy Pisces. I forgot to say something real quick. That now that it's a lot of people that have left alive, I think that I'll probably be comfortable in saying it. I think that one of the last lives that I did, I upset some black women that I like. I'm not gonna say who or anything. Just upset some black women with my perspective, and this is the reason why I prefer not to make actually friendships, outside friendships in the real world with people online who I like express like all of my opinions with or my perspectives, because not everybody can have a friendship where y'all are diametrically opposed on certain things. Now I can, but I've noticed that a lot of black women seem to not be, not to be able to do that. So like if I think one thing and they just totally think the other thing, then they just can't be my friend and talk to me because I don't agree. uh I think some of the things that I said, like, I just want to say that anytime I give my perspective, even if you don't agree, it's never rooted in hurting black women or harming black women or looking down on black women or judging black women. It's just my thoughts. At the end of the day, who am I? I'm just a random lady on the internet, just like everyone on here is a random lady on the internet with their thoughts and opinions and perspectives. I just really want y'all to know that, like, I don't mean no harm. I love black women. I spend all my time and effort in trying to help black women and loving on black women. It's so many, my no, not trying to say anything, but my emails be flooded with black women asking for my thoughts and perspectives on things. I listen to them. I take my time and give them advice and write my perspectives out. They ask me to do a lot of things, and I do them. I never do like other content creators do. I don't say, hey, I got a coaching class or this class. You got to pay me $400 to come talk to me. You got to pay me $200 for me to respond to you for 30 minutes or this, that, and the third. I don't do any of those things. I just say, hey, just send me an email and I'll respond to you when I get to it. And we can have a conversation. But I just wanted to let y'all to know, if anything that I say, please never take it to heart. Please never take it to heart. I never mean it to ever hurt or harm or make any black woman feel down about anything. It's never my intention. Now, if it's about these men, yeah, it could be my intention. All right, I'm trying to be funny. If I, but when it comes to black women, I am never trying to be funny at all. Even the black women that make me mad or piss me off or I feel like they trying to play in my face, I still show them grace too. I never go in then either. I never go in then either. I never go in then either. So I just want y'all to know, I really use restraint. So I just want y'all to know that, like, if y'all have heard anything that made you upset, please understand I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings. We can have a conversation. I still have love for you as my fellow black sister, truthfully. But anyway, I'm done with that. But anyway, I'm done with that. I just wanted to say that, man. But let me go down here to Jinro, and then we'll end it out with Coach T. Go ahead, Jinro.
I triggered. You have no idea how much I needed you today. You have no idea at all. But what I wanted to say was the the other day I made a dire mistake of liking a post of a self-proclaimed feminist before finding out she supported the orange man, and I've been stuck in pick me talk ever since the other day. And then upon being there, I learned one thing that day, that pick-mes, pick-meshas are not a monolith. They think the same, which is all about men, 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 my man, my man, my man. But how they want to get them is totally different. You have the traditional values pick me, where they believe in modesty, the man is superior, I'm not like you, etc., etc. Then there's the hood rat and pick meshas, where if I give him my body the moment I meet him, go down on him, overtly tell him how much I'm capable to put out, he'll choose me. Those types. I ended up on a live thinking I was out, thinking it was a live on what women want in a man, only to see the questions starting to get more sus and the women started to get more slurpy. I should have left the moment the host said modern women. And his username, I'm not going to say all of it because I refuse to promote him. King was a dead giveaway. He was a king with no kingdom. I should have left, but I was in too deep and I wanted to see the things that were said. The questions were from what's your ideal body type to why do modern women have problems with coffee dates to how often will you have schmecks? And then I immediately got embarrassed, but I kindly said pass and mind your business. There was a point where one of the hood rats mentioned a man who unalived his wife at work because he found out all three of his kids weren't his. Now, I don't know how much of that is true because I'm still looking for that case. I never heard of it as of recent. But what she responded was, it's not justified, but I understand him. I said, you have to be socio or psychopathic to understand taking the life of someone else over walking away. But we're the emotional ones. They all blew up at me. They were already short-tempered from the beginning. But the look on her face after I said that, the shoe fits. It really did. Sheena said, I said understand, not justify. I said I didn't say justify either. I said I don't understand how you could understand or justify it. I hardly said anything the entire time, but they were calling me all types of slow, all types of stupid, threatening me and calling me argumentative. That's how I knew for sure they were hood rats, all types of projection. Then they dropped me, then I blocked them. Now I'm finally back here. I need a hug, Triggered. I'm just so glad that I have you back here.
Oh man, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that for real. That sounds crazy. Yeah, and I know they get real crazy, especially the pick-mes. If you try to challenge anything they gotta say, they get real crazy. They do it so that they can get the attention of the men that's on there. It's very disturbing. But I'm so sorry you had to go through that. But at least you're in safe spaces now, all right?
You can drop me now, but it's nice speaking to you. Please be here more, please. I don't want to go back there.
Okay, all right, all right. All right, well, you guys, I'm gonna end it off with Miss Coach T.
Hey, Trigger, I just want to say I always appreciate your space and thank you for making that qualifier because I feel the same way about my point of view and my opinions, especially in my everyday life, is I don't have a hard time being amicable or even being friends and having relationships with people who have a difference of opinion. Is that people don't like my point of view and my opinion on things. So they have a problem with me. So thank you for that, just like making that be known and making this a space where we can have differences of opinion and still be treat each other like human beings and not devolve to like being disrespectful and not harming one another or being abusive or anything like that. I just want to tell Black women one last time, like, just Listen, y'all have to be so careful out here. And as a woman now who is having to do the shadow work that man came up here and claimed that men are doing or need to do, is that it is so dangerous for us to keep having these conversations as if they exist in a circle or in a vacuum with like, oh, the black community or black love and relationships and families exist as part of a larger society. And so when we are having these conversations or we are making choices to have children and bring them into this world and then have put them out into a culture and a society, and they're coming from this type of community where it's so male centered and it's so much about what's good and best for men, and we're not teaching our girls how to love themselves and how to make good choices for themselves. We're not even teaching girls how to be in relationships with themselves, period. It's just I don't have any hope for the future of a community who continues to put children last. That is what I see in this community. It's all about what adults want and the poor choices that adults make. And then children have to come up and have to suffer underneath them and then are expected to show grace or show understanding to the choices that adults make. And that is really the crux of my point of view about it. Why I said I have a more morbid point of view. I don't see the point in having relationships or having a community where children are harmed and their lives aren't valued and they're disposable. Not even just women are disposable. Our children are disposable. Nobody cares about the kids. They expect children to be born and they're already born with a job. A child has not even been born yet, not even been conceived yet, and they are being used as a bargaining chip. They've been given a job already to hold a community together. That is ridiculous to me and it's abusive and it needs to stop. So until grown adults, until grown people can learn how to love themselves, learn how to just be people, just be a human. Damn this, oh, be this type of woman, be this type of man, be this type of wife, be this type of husband. Learn how to be a human being. Nobody should be having children or being so-called being in relationships or being in community, because there's something really wrong with the mindset of a people who think that having children or being in relationships or being in families or being in community together is enough. And it's not enough. And our children deserve more than that. I deserved more than that. My kids deserve more than that. Other children who are here already deserve more than that. And the children who are unborn deserve more than being given a job before they can even form a coherent thought in their minds. And it's shameful that Black women are continue to be expected to uphold this idea of community while we're being harmed and our children are being harmed. It has to stop.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Coach T, and I definitely agree, and I definitely see where you're coming from. For sure. And this has nothing to do with what you said, because I agree with what you were saying. I just wanted to say it one more time for anybody that didn't hear me. I just want to say I respect all perspectives coming from Black women. For real, I really do. You can have whatever thoughts that you want. We're all entitled to it. I would like this to be a safe space for Black women. So in order for that to be a safe space, it can't be just a safe space for just my thought process alone. You know what I'm saying? It can't be. It has to be everybody's different perspectives. Now, I will say though, I don't mind debating. I don't mind debating you. You can debate me. We can debate each other. That's no problem, as long as we can, respect each other and not, resort to like calling each other out of our names, or B's or 304s and stuff like that. I will say that sometimes if you say something that doesn't make sense to me, sometimes I will challenge it. Sometimes I'll challenge women. I've done that before. But a lot of times when women say things I don't agree with, I just stay silent because I don't want to make it a woman feel like it's hostile environment. hostile environment and she can't express how she feels. So sometimes I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do. Sometimes we go back and forth, but I still respect all perspectives. Now, I will say though, if you come up here and you super pick me out, you know, you may get more pushback than normal, but you know, I still allow you to speak then too. You know, it's just that sometimes when I'm giving you that pushback, then they don't want that. So they want to just run away. But if you let me give you the pushback, I'll end up muting up and being quiet so that you can say what you got to say. Because when I did that to Drip that was up here, she just ended up running away. Even though I didn't even say nothing. She said, oh, be quiet, let me talk. As soon as I did, she didn't have anything to say, you know? So I just want to say that, man. I really do respect everything that everybody has to say. Truthfully, like, even if I don't agree, I want every black woman to feel like she can come here and get it out. If you feel like you stressed about something, you want to get it out, you want to express how you feel, you can do that here. I promise that you can. I just want you to know that, like,
Thank
this.
you, Trigger, for this space. Thank you so much for this space. Like I said, I always appreciate, then that's what I appreciate about you having this space is that it's truly about women sharing our perspectives and points of views. And I do feel bad sometimes because like I'm a woman who I've already had children. So I guess it's easy for me to tell other women who may desire to have kids, like don't have kids because, you know, like I already have children. So it's kind of like um hypocrisy in a sense, but I think that these conversations are valuable. And then maybe we can have a conversation like about our differences of opinions and points of views, because I can see where, especially women who want to be married or have children, hearing other women who may have already been married or who are already married and have children say, don't do it, how that can cause like tension, or that can cause like issues between us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. But I think that as long as, you know, we can at the end of the day, you know, have these discussions, go back and forth. You say where you don't agree, another person says where they agree or whatever, and we can just come together at the end of the day and look at each other like sisters, then we can do it. Because I do feel like as long as I want to, my space, if possible, could not be an echo chamber. So in order for it to not be an echo chamber, that means there has to be a lot of women of differing thoughts and perspectives. We all got to have different thoughts. Everybody can't agree on everything. And I think that we do a good job at where we agree on some things, but we don't agree on everything. And that's fine. I just want y'all to know that I love and respect all of you guys. And I never want to run any of you guys off, you know? Oh, thanks so much for coming, Coach T. And I just want to say to all the black women that came up today, all of you guys, I appreciate y'all so much. I care for y'all so much. I respect y'all so much. Y'all are so intelligent and well spoken and, you know, beautiful. And I really appreciate all of you guys. I just want y'all to know that. And I'm so happy that you guys take the time to come into my space and say anything to me. I just, I feel like blessed to even be in you guys' presence. Really. That's how I feel. Truthfully. I respect you all. And I will always, you know, fight to the death for black women. I always will. For black women and black girls, I will always put you guys first. And I will always try my best to support and uplift and protect y'all. And if nobody told y'all today, even though Supervillain already did, I just want y'all to know I love y'all. I respect y'all. Y'all are great. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are beautiful. We are the best of the best. We are the blueprint. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, okay? And I hope y'all have a great weekend, okay? I'll see you guys later. Love y'all.